Most HVAC companies don't. And since the you of today has some experience, Delcor might just hire you on the spot.
Delcor is hiring 12 experienced HVAC and plumbing professionals immediately. You must have a valid driver's license, ability and desire to work, and legally eligible to work in the U.S. Delcor offers a sign-on bonus up to $1,500, plus one of the best benefits packages in the industry, including health insurance, paid vacation, and retirement options. Learn more at DelcorInc.com. That's DelcoRinc.com.
The you of tomorrow will thank the you of today for getting a job at Delcor. Delcor is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, I'm Holt Nailers. No one knows better than me how important it is as a quarterback to have protection on the field to be successful. My frontline team is critical to my success. For your frontline insurance protection, you need the team at Buck Insurance Agency. Buck Insurance Agency is your local team and have been helping customers like you for over 30 years with their insurance needs. When you need insurance protection, you'll get the whole team with Brian Buck and his staff. Call toll-free at 877-357-1966. Go Pirates.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
There's local politics, bud.
I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand.
Was that supposed to be funny?
Get these clowns out of here.
Why would they do that?
You were having a freaking game.
Dude. It's a cocky bunch, man.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, welcome in to a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios. We are coming to you today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250, 930. You can find us online, pr927fm.com, and watch the show on Facebook Live and on YouTube and be a part of the show there. You can chime in what's on your mind on this Wednesday. We got a ton of sports going on, so we'll have a look at the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard because we got two postseason baseball games. We've got one college football game. We got a full slate of NBA action as they got underway last night with a doubleheader. The Celtics beating the Sixers and the Warriors over the Lakers, and Hornets begin their season tonight on the road at San Antonio. So a ton going on, a ton to talk about because we are inside of a big game week. East Carolina taking on UCF, starting to get that big game feel. A lot of people excited about this one. UCF playing for the conference championship and potentially a New Year's Six bowl berth. East Carolina fighting to get to bowl eligibility. And, you know, if you knock off UCF and Cincinnati and Houston, and you still got a shot to potentially play in the AAC championship. So a lot on the line for both of these teams. We'll talk about that. Also, Troy D back from ECU Basketball Media Day. We got some Mike Schwartz audio to get to as well, among other things, including all of our guests on today's show. We will talk to the voice, Jeff Charles. He'll join us coming up in a little bit. We will also talk to Alex Walker, formerly of WITN TV7. He is now in Orlando covering, among other things, the UCF Knights. So we'll get his take on this Knights team that'll roll into Greenville on Saturday night. Patrick Mason, Daily Reflector, will join us. And also Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors. So I want to also, a little housekeeping. We got a lot of picks to make and keep up with, but also our 10 most important Pirates list that we came up with before the football season. I want to revisit that. I've got my list and Igoe's list. Chandler, you probably don't have your list, do you? He says he thinks so. Oh, you got it documented there on the old laptop? The old lapper? Chandler Honeycutt's here. Hey, Chandler.
Hey, Clipper. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Thank you for waiting.
Yes, I do believe I have it documented here. Let's see. Chandler's top 10 Pirates on the 2022 roster. Now, I can tell you right off the bat.
I don't want any spoilers yet.
Oh, boy. I'm embarrassed by one.
Oh, good. I can't wait to hear it. So, yeah, we'll do that. Remind me to do that later on when Igoe's here. What we do need from you, Chandler, you are a sports guy. You are the sports guy after your Tennessee over Alabama straight up pick last week. Congratulations on that. We got to get our upset picks in for this Wednesday. What we do every week, we pick a top 10 college football team to lose and a top 25 college football team to lose. Last week, Chandler had Alabama losing to Tennessee and NC State losing to Syracuse, and he was the only 2-0 competitor between the three of us, myself, CJ, and Chandler. So good week for you last week, Chandler.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You are now 9-7 on the year picking these picks. Myself and CJ are 8-6. So we will get rolling. CJ's not here, but he did give me his picks. Would you like to hear his first?
Yeah, go ahead.
He says he took the easy way out on one, which is fine. He says Alabama will defeat number 24 Mississippi State. About as easy as a money line lock you can find, taking Alabama coming off a loss. No way they lose 2 in a row, right?
No.
No way. So that is the pick of CJ. Also, his top 10 pick, good one in the Pac-12, which we pretty much ignore. We don't talk a lot of Pac-12, follow the Pac-12. You got a lot of teams up high in the rankings out of the Pac-12. 2 of those will meet on Saturday. It'll be Oregon hosting undefeated UCLA. Oregon's lone loss was a blowout to Georgia. He says Oregon knocks off UCLA. That is his top 10 pick. I agree with that pick. But my top 25 pick is a cop-out pick. It's going to be Clemson to beat Syracuse. I think, maybe I'm too confident in that, but I feel like that's going to happen. So instead of going Oregon over UCLA, I'm going to get a little bolder with my pick. And no, I'm not going to Colorado. I'm not going to Boulder, but I'm getting bolder with my top 10 pick. I'm going to say that K-State, one loss on the year. Mm-hmm. That loss was to the Tulane Green Wave. I'm going to say TCU's playing a little ahead of their skis right now. And I'm going to say that K-State takes their purple, goes into Fort Worth to take on TCU's purple, and the purple men from Manhattan get the win over TCU. K-State over TCU, my top 10 upset.
For the second straight week, you're going to think that I'm crazy. Now, I said this last week. When I said that Tennessee would upset Alabama at home.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up being right.
No, way right.
I'm going to go with a road dog. I'm going to go with a road dog that is a double-digit dog. I'm going to go with Dino Babers and the Syracuse Orange beating Clemson at Death Valley.
You are...
you might think I'm crazy.
You get a little crazy.
And that's probably going to ruin my record. But I like living life in the fast lane.
Mm-hmm.
That's my top 5 pick. My top 10 pick.
Okay.
You might think I'm crazy with this.
I think you're getting a little cocky after your 2-0 last week is what I think.
All right. I might need to switch this up.
No.
What
what happened to all that fast lane talk?
All right. We're staying in the fast lane. Not switching lanes here. Memphis. Back-to-back heartbreakers.
Oh, yeah. True. I like where you're going with this.
Memphis back-to-back heartbreakers. Should have had a win against Houston at home.
Had it.
You go on to the road to East Carolina. Up 17-0 early.
Mm-hmm.
Things are looking good. You lose in a heartbreaking 4-overtime game.
Yes.
If you're a Memphis fan, you're upset. If you're a Memphis player and coach, you're damn upset.
You're angry.
You're looking for that win that you should have had in the past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis bounces back this week at Tulane. On the road. I'm going with 2 road dogs.
You are a wild man.
Now, this is going to ruin me. This is probably going to put me back at 500 at 9-9. But that's fine because I love looking at these games and thinking, I took the high road. I took the less traveled path. I took the path that nobody wants to take, that everybody is scared to take.
The path of most resistance.
I'm taking that path because I feel good about the pick I had last week with Tennessee. I love Syracuse beating State. Now, State with no quarterback, that's tough. Really think that Dino Babers has a really good team with his Orange football program. So I'm going to go Syracuse at Clemson.
All right.
Call me crazy. And I'm going to go Memphis at Tulane. Call me crazy.
I'm going TCU to lose to K-State, Clemson to beat Syracuse. Chandler is saying Syracuse will upset Clemson and that Memphis will get off the schneid and knock off Tulane. CJ has Oregon over UCLA and Alabama against Mississippi State. I would say CJ took the easiest path this week. And if he's 10-6 after this and on top of the standings, so be it. Good for him. All right, so there are the picks. Let's get a Wednesday vibe update for East Carolina and UCF.
I like that the Pirates are finally, well, and I say finally, a dog. They weren't a dog against Tulane. I feel good. I feel like this is a big game for East Carolina because you look at the Tulane game and how much of a disappointment that was. To bounce back in a 4 overtime game where you at one point in the game were down 17-0. You come back, you fight and
Your
claw.
home crowd is booing.
Your home crowd is booing you. You go for a fake punt on 4th and 22, 4th and 23. You're down 17-0. The home crowd, the Pirate faithful, is booing you.
Boo.
You fight and claw to a win that you really, really needed in a 4 overtime game. What a win this would be for East Carolina to bounce back after a terrible showing at Tulane, a bounce back win against a good Memphis program, and a good bounce back against a UCF program that's coming here with a experienced quarterback, which East Carolina also has. I think East Carolina's defense is going to match up well against this, as always, speedy UCF offense. I like the Pirates this week. My vibes were good. I'm not saying I like the Pirates in a dogfight. Now, I'm not overly confident. UCF has got a very good program with Gus Malzahn. But my vibe right now is good. I'm not scared. People might think, oh, Chandler's scared. Chandler's nervous.
People are out there saying that. I've heard it.
I'm not. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of no night.
I was at the grocery store last night. I heard people the aisle over, and they were like, Chandler, I think Chandler's scared of UCF.
Well, guess what? Those people are wrong. I'm not scared. I'm not nervous. I like that the Pirates are back home for a second straight week. I feel like this is going to give our fans a chance to come back out in a strong force. It's a blackout game. Wear your black.
I'm already repping.
You already got your black hat and your black sweatshirt. I think the crowd's going to be awesome. The vibe is good.
All right.
The vibe is good.
Last week felt like a desperation, must-have, gotta have it. If you don't get it, it's over type of game. And East Carolina won it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's as much pressure for this one. Now, if you lose this game, then your must-win, gotta have it is going to be Houston or because we're you know what, we're going to count Temple as a win. I know you shouldn't do that, but in this exercise to get to 6 wins, I'm counting Temple as a W. I'm counting one of BYU Cincinnati as a loss. I don't think you can win both on the road. So that leaves you with this game and with one of the, Houston, one of the BYU Cincinnati games. So you've still got opportunity to get that 6 win, but I just don't feel like this is as desperate of a feel as last week was. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and that's what I like about it. But I think this Pirate football team is going to be ready to go. They just played a 7:30 game last week. They know how to prepare for it. And I think UCF might be coming in here. Could UCF be looking past East Carolina?
Perhaps. They have a huge game. How about homecoming Cincinnati going to Orlando next week for a showdown? Everybody's making plans to have their friends and family in. That's going to be either on, how about ABC or ESPN? Ever heard of those networks?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be either one of those. I mean, we could be talking about the national game next Saturday. So I am hoping there is some look ahead going on from the Knights right now.
And that could be very well what's going on right now. We will see coming up on Saturday. Pirates cannot, and I cannot repeat this enough, Pirates cannot start off the game like they did last week against Memphis. Absolutely not. Pirates need to come out and punch them in the mouth early and keep the foot on the pedal all game long.
Alan on Facebook Live. Alan and I disagreed on what ECU should have done with the ball at the goal line late in the game on Saturday night, but we agree on this. Well, it's hard not to. It's an actual fact. Alan says UCF first real travel game.
Their first game out of the state of Florida.
That's right. They have played at FAU, and every other game has been in Orlando. So this is the first time they're doing the whole plane, bus, hotel, away from home.
That's a good factor to put in there.
What if you forget your blankie, you know?
Their coach doesn't know what barbecue is.
Their coach has never seen a plate of barbecue in his life.
And that's sad.
Yep.
And it will play a huge factor in this game on Saturday.
I think so, too. I think you're right. Alex says, any thoughts on UCF getting extra couple of days of rest? So, and he also points out 4 out of the first 5 conference games have had more rest. Folks, rest is important.
Yeah, you need it.
I don't get enough of it. You don't either. There's not enough hours in the day.
I don't either.
Yeah. Rest is important. So the UCF played, what, Friday?
Thursday. Oh, they played. I know they played a Wednesday game a couple of weeks ago against SMU.
Let's focus on last week, shall we?
Let me focus right quick. Hold on. Last week. Yeah. Last week was actually a Thursday night game because I was at AJ's for the Humane Society event that we had, and they were playing Temple and put up a 70-burger. It was not Friday. It was Thursday.
They played Thursday, Friday to rest, Saturday to rest. East Carolina was playing almost into Sunday. So, yeah, they definitely got more rest. And we are banged up, just like everybody is.
Everybody else is.
But, man, you had Jeremy Lewis being helped off the field. Miles Berry is more injured than he's letting on. Holton Ahlers is walking around on the field with his arm dangling down to his ankle. It's like ripped off his body.
Asking his teammates to please put my arm back in place.
Keaton Mitchell is fighting through an injury on the field right now that he's just dealing with the pain.
Even though he looked 100% last week.
So these Pirates are banged up, and you just hope they are recovered and ready to go by Saturday night. But there's going to be they're fighting through it. They're gutting through it right now. What do you think of the game coming up on Saturday? Let us know via Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or you can give us a call, 317-1250, if you would like to chat on this Wednesday. Make sure, if you are a fan of ours or if you hate us, to give us a like on Facebook and YouTube. Subscribe as well.
Chad Moore separates himself from the rest.
Chad is he's an angel. You know, he's an angel among us. I believe there are angels among us. Help me out, Shirley. I believe there are angels among us.
Something up above. They go to you
and me in our darkest hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's the tune. Chandler, not into it? Not an Angels Among Us guy?
I've never heard the song.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I am 24.
Alabama.
You're 24? What is that? This is not on the pop charts, Chandler. This is church, Sunday school days, man. How about take your ass to church?
I did back in the day.
Take me to church.
I do know some good hymns, though.
All right. Are you him?
I am him. I am Bible hymn. I am hymnal.
What were we talking? Oh, Chad. He's the angel among us.
I am him.
In the arms of an angel.
That was a good one, Clipper.
Thank you, Sarah McLaughlin. Chad has not only liked on Facebook, he has liked on Twitter. He has also shared. I mean, he is the The real MVP. You thought it was Kevin Durant's mom? No.
Nope.
It's Chad. The real MVP. Chandler. You got nothing?
No.
Alan says, I did say we will win 3 in a row to become bowl eligible. 1 down, 2 to go. Boy, that is a tall task, Alan.
All right, Alan.
It's a tall ask. It's a tall task and a tough ask.
I thought you said a tall ass.
It's a tall
That's
task.
what I thought he said too.
Tall task, tough ask. But Alan says we can do it.
You can do it!
And all you need out there is one person to believe. If one person believes, that could lend itself to 2 and then 3, 4, and then we're talking about a dozen.
Jack says Houston's going to try to hold the ball this game, and I think it would really work. Hashtag
Ball control football. Let's get it trending. Hashtag ball control football. Hashtag ball control football. Hold the ball. Don't get in a foot race, a shootout with UCF. That's what Jack says.
Win the time of possession.
But we can't get too conservative.
No, can't get too conservative.
Can't get too conservative.
Can't get too conservative, Dwayne.
Because, I don't know. In a perfect world, yeah, you win the time of possession 40-20 and you run the ball for 200 yards and all that. But I don't know. UCF's going to try to go warp speed. East Carolina, I think they'll come out with a pace and will try to attack and then maybe settle into that running on first down. I said it on the 5th quarter. Cameron called in, ready to fire Donnie Kirkpatrick, as some are, and said, have you really seen anything change? I noticed the change in the game the other night. We were running the ball pretty much every first down, as we tend to do. And then, second quarter, second half, I feel like we were throwing a lot more on first down, and they were very short throws.
Yes.
Setting up 2nd and 7.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit different than just running the ball right behind the guard.
A little something different.
Yeah.
But even those first down runs, man, you want to establish that run on first down. But for the Pirates, it literally on average, especially if you go back to the Tulane game, I mean, it's an average of what, a yard, 2 yards at the most on first down runs. I mean, Billy had his stat to consider a couple of weeks ago when we had when we played Tulane, and it's not getting the job done.
All right, well, what do you want to do on first down? Tell me.
Well, there was a couple times last week when we were sitting there when we would pick up a first down, I'd say go deep to Winstead here. Remember? Let's try that a couple times.
Throw the bomb.
Throw the bomb. Get the bomb out. Drop the bomb. You drop the bomb on me.
It's incomplete.
Baby.
Now it's 2nd and 10. What do you do 2nd and 10?
A little cross route over the middle.
So you're just going to throw it. All right, so you might get 4. So you're either looking at 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 10. What are you doing now?
5 and out. Not a 5 and out. You need 3rd and 6. I don't know. Go deep again. Drop the bomb again.
Oh, my God. All right.
Go deep.
Offensive coordinator Chandler Honeycutt just led us to a 3 and out and took 9 seconds off the clock. So that's not the time of possession battle that we want to win there.
That is not hashtag ball control football.
That is get Luke Larson in. Now we're going to do a rollout punt. It'll probably get blocked. We're down 7-0 already. All right, Coach, what are we doing? 1st and 10.
Drop the bomb.
3 words. Drop the bomb. Yeah, all right. That's how you win football games, folks. All right, let's, real quick, Flight by Yingling practice report, since we're talking football. The next generation of light beer, Flight by Yingling. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling, available wherever beer is sold. Here's something for y'all. What are you running on first down? Robert's in. First in, fake run, Y row to tight end after he chip blocks. All right, I will decipher through the madness there. Fake run, so play action, little short one to Ryan Jones after he stays in the block. Almost like a screenish. And then he catches, runs for a good 7-8 yards, 2nd and 2. Now we're in a favorable spot.
There we go.
All right,
I love those 8 chunk plays on first down.
What play are you running on first down? You want to stop seeing the run, so what are we doing? Give me a play. Robert.
We're in the pistol. Play action to Keaton. Holton runs to his right. No.
Runs to his right.
No, runs to his left because he's a lefty.
Man, you are.
Play action to Keaton. Runs to his left. Looks to his left. But a wide open. A tight end going across the other side. Wide open. Throw it to the other side.
Oh, I do love that play. I love that play, especially around the 15, 10. I like it around the end zone because you can just see. So everything's going to one side of the field.
Yeah.
Except one tight end.
Except one guy leaks out to the opposite end.
And he's usually just wide by himself in the end zone.
Yep.
Love that play. You want to see that from our own 25. Have him wide open around the 32, 35.
And get about 10 yards.
And he catches it, or
get to the 42.
Catch and run, baby.
Catch, and there's green grass. And like Julius Wood said last week, once I saw that green grass, I knew I had to score. I knew I had to take it to the house.
House call. All right, now we're Donnie, are you listening to this?
Are you listening to this, Donnie?
Hey, make sure I'm not going to say that. Everybody get your play in. What do you want to see? Let us know on YouTube and on Facebook. And you can give us a call, 317-1250. Let's hear from the coordinators out there. Chandler and I are dialing up some beauties here. What are you dialing up?
I think we should dial up an old play that we ran a long time ago. You know, the one where Bryce Williams leaked out into the middle of the field all by himself?
Hide the tight end.
Hide the tight end.
Hashtag hide the tight end.
I mean, we got some pretty good ones.
I mean, dang, I turned around. Shane, he had already thrown the ball. I'm catching it.
Yeah.
I'm rumbling down the field. I should have made that man miss, but still a good
That's
play.
what I'm saying. I mean, what?
Well, we kind of this is totally different than that because Bryce was actually lined up as a tackle.
He was like a left tackle
on that play.
Right, and he leaked out into the middle of the field, and he was wide open.
Well, he has to sit there and block a little, for just a little bit.
It's a delay, but I'm just saying, he leaked out into the field, and nobody was covering him.
I love that little play we ran to Ryan Jones.
If we give Holton enough time and run that play, guy like Ryan Jones or Shane Calhoun catches that ball.
Talk about a South Florida clip.
Was it South Florida where he fumbled?
Yeah.
That was a cool play.
He had nothing but green grass.
And when green grass is in front of you, what do? You fumble.
Was that similar to the call that I just had a while ago? Was that a play action, roll to the left, and then try to dump it over to the right side?
Nah, there wasn't that much going on. It was more
was it
of
that simple?
He was definitely he was like in the slot on the left. Kind of so. He did come kind of to the middle of the field, I guess. Yeah. Josh Thomas calls a hook and ladder left. All right, so we got Keaton Mitchell to Ayler's right, lined up in the shotgun. You've got CJ in the slot, Winstead wide right. Winstead just goes to the house. He goes out.
Go deep.
CJ runs 6, 7, 8 yards. Turns around, boom, button hook, catches it. While all that's going on, Mitchell has crept out of the backfield. He's starting to run right. He runs right behind CJ, who flips him the ball. And then Keaton, guess what's in front of him, Chandler? Green grass.
Green grass, baby.
Where the green grass grows.
Don't let the green grass fool you.
Do not. The old hook and ladder left on first down. So we are just dialing up absolutely some beautiful play calls here.
John on YouTube says, stick to special teams, Chan, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Man,
I'm a former long snapper.
Damn y'all.
Flight by Yingling practice report. All we're hoping is that the team, as they practice right now, have us pumping into the through the speakers, letting them know. Hey, Donnie, what do you think of these plays, by the way?
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know about Chan Man's thing, but I do like the hook and ladder a little bit. But I'm going to run the ball anyway. I don't care what y'all say. I'm going to run the ball every time.
Running works. Just, I don't know, be less predictable about it, but East Carolina has had success on the ground really the last two games. Good game by Keaton on Saturday, and they ran with some success against the Green Wave as well.
Yep.
Got to have a good balance, Chandler. As a former gymnast, I can tell you that's what it's all about, balance.
You were a gymnast?
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
I used to do gymnastics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dive into that a little bit for sure in terms of being a gymnastist.
Being a what?
A gymnast.
I would go out there. I'd put the powder on my hands. And I'd do this.
Would you swing?
I'd do like LeBron. And go.
Swinging dingers?
I'd do that. Then I'd get on the pommel horse.
The what?
Is that what it's called?
Yes, the pommel horse.
Pommel horse. And I would shake my legs around. Boy, it's tough on the boys, if you know what I mean.
Were they out on the table?
It's tough on the cojones, if you know what I mean. And I would do that a little bit, and then I'd go over to the rings, and I'd do my ring thing, and flip around, little triple axel. And, I was on the 92 Olympic team in Barcelona.
Wait a minute.
How old were you then?
Triple axel, isn't that a figure skating move?
They thought it was until I finally broke into gymnastics. I was, well, you know, when
11,
you're
12?
You know, those gymnasts in the Olympics are really young. Like
Yeah,
those,
they're like 16,
those
17.
Russian girls. So, yeah, they had me out there. I was actually on Russia. That's probably why you didn't see
And on
me.
the girls' team?
I was on the USSR women's gymnastics team as a 12-year-old.
From Winterville, North Carolina.
Thank you.
From A.G. Cox.
So, yeah, that's all right. Robert's got another play. Thank you for getting out of this conversation.
Josh Thomas brings up a play that we used to run a lot with Dwayne Harris, the Wildcat.
The Wildcat. Who you putting back there?
Josiah Hatfield.
Ooh, now we're talking. Throw the 8-8 back there?
Yes, sir.
Huh. Okay. Okay. Well, I think we had another one here. He deleted it, so we don't. Okay.
Find somebody that can throw the ball. Do the Wildcat.
We had Tyler Snead that could do that.
Yeah.
Do the Wildcat and then throw it downfield to Zay.
You know, we need to ask Isaiah Winstead if he can throw a football, how far he can throw one. I mean,
30 yards.
Like 30 yards, probably.
I can throw a football.
I mean, I'm not Holton Nailers or anything.
I mean, I got an arm, don't I? We have not. Have we ran a receiver pass this year?
Not that I know of.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Nope.
How about tight end screen behind the line of scrimmage to Ryan Jones, and he launched
And then
it.
he just heaves
Oh.
it. Or does the proven commodity have an arm?
Aaron Jarman. Ryan Jones just seems like a guy that could be could play anything. You know
Here's
what I'm saying?
another one.
He's like, I mean, he's not like to his level, but he's like a Kyle Pitts. He's a tight end, but you see him as a wide receiver as well. And just as a pure athlete.
Shirley, please go.
Screen pass to Ryan Jones. Deep downfield pass to Holton Nailers.
The old, so you throw it out to Jones. Ahlers leaks out on the left side. Throw
Jones
it down the
throws
field.
it.
Deal.
Yep.
We've seen
We've
Ahlers
done, we've done it with Shane Carton.
Wonder how many career catches Ahlers has. I know
He has that one against Marshall.
Yeah.
And a touchdown. That was a touchdown.
Is that it?
That might be
He
it.
might have more, but we have not. We have yet to run the receiver pass so far. Allen likes Ryan in the Wildcat, as do I. I think that would be because he could get some tough yards in the middle, and could also throw it. So we'll ask. Remind us to ask that next week, Chandler, to Isaiah and to Ryan about throwing the football.
Sounds good.
Robert says line up tight, throw to wide receiver, out horizontal for short gain.
Who knows? Like, maybe they're, like you said, maybe they have us on the speaker at practice right now, and maybe they'll take that into consideration, and maybe we'll see that this week. Maybe we'll see Zay throw a pass.
I think
Ryan
we
Jones.
see a one big trick play. After a first down, kind of around midfield, maybe between the 40s, they dial one up, see if they can catch them napping. I think a receiver pass. I think we're due for one of those.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you don't see in college that you see in the pros more? The old flea flicker.
Yeah, because that's more of a I formation thing, but I guess you can hand it off in the shotgun and he run it up a couple yards and then toss it back.
I think we see some trickeration this week for East Carolina. All right, that was instead of like giving you what's happening in practice, we are telling you what ECU should be practicing on our Flight by Yingling.
We have the credit.
Practice report. Sometimes it's fun to play coach.
Yeah, we do. I mean, you do it when you play like Madden or NCAA football or something like that.
I'm trying it in real life. The next generation of light beer. Don't raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll visit with the voice, Jeff Charles. He'll join us on this Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Got a lot more to go. Thanks for riding along with us. We'll be back after this.
Fans, time to get back in black this week as the Pirates host American rival UCF Saturday night at 7:30. It's our Painted Black game. Tickets are still available for as low as $50 in the lower bowl or $35 in the upper level. Break out your best Pirate gear in black for East Carolina and UCF. It's the Pirates and the Knights, Saturday night at 7:30 at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium.
Greenville Utilities electric customers will soon be able to receive text notifications in the event of power outages. Enrollment is automatic, so make sure GUC has your cell phone number by signing into your account at GUC.com, then update the information in your user profile. Want to talk with someone instead? Call 252-752-7166 during business hours. 252-752-7166. Update us so we can update you. Visit GUC.com for more information.
Winslow's is now Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room. With a brand new look, Fifth Street Hardware also has a new menu and serving lunch and dinner every Tuesday through Sunday and brunch starting at 10:30 on Sundays. What else is new? Well, they have poker every Tuesday night, Trivia Wednesday with DJ Captain Morgan, and on Friday and Saturday nights they have live music open till 2 a.m. serving light appetizers all night long. New look, new name, same location on Fifth Street. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram for more specials. Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty. I've been in Greenville over 25 years. I'm a proud graduate of ECU. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, then give me a call today and let me help make your real estate process fun and easy. I keep it simple and explain the process every step of the way. My goals are your goals. There are no long-term contracts, and you always deal with me from start to finish. The right home starts with the right agent. Call me, Scott Harris, at 347-1857. Go Pirates!
The Angus Grill is your premier spot for the best burgers, cheesesteaks, and brisket sandwiches around. Join us for our unmatched variety of burger combinations, from the mushroom bacon Swiss burger to the jalapeno popper burger to the original Angus classic. Pair that burger with our amazing onion rings, tots, fries, or sweet potato fries. Angus Grill, with 4 amazing locations in eastern North Carolina, including Winterville near Pitt Community College, on Jarvis Street in uptown Greenville, and on Statensburg Road near the hospital. It's the best burger around, guaranteed.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
This is Tim Doust, ECU Football Special Teams Coordinator, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Drive a little and save a lot at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles, plus offers service to all makes and models in a state-of-the-art facility. Drive a little and save a lot with a short trip to Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington, or you can go online at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, being an offensive coordinator could be the easiest job in the world. I mean, we just had, a 4-minute break? I just came up with another play.
And that would be?
Well, so you just got a first down at around, let's say, the UCF 43. We're going left to right into the boneyard. And, the chain gang is kind of active and around, and there's players coming on and off the field, and ECU's going with some tempo, so things can get a little bit confusing. So what you do is you slip Winstead out, and you slip Mason Garcia in. Put him at receiver. They'll probably notice, but what if they don't? What if they don't notice? What if they're looking at other things?
With with Isaiah Winstead going out, they're going, their deep man, the guy that you usually go deep with, is off. He's off the field.
Or they go, there's 11, and that 10 kind of looks like an 11. Mm-hmm. By the way, if you really want this to work, make sure Mason and Isaiah have the same accessories on, gloves, armbands, so they look identical. Mason's a big guy. Slip Isaiah off. Mason's on. Holden makes a signal. Mason goes into motion, kind of gets in the slot, so he's closer to Holden. C.J. Johnson, by the way, is lined up out left. Snap. Mason runs behind Holden. Pitch to Mason. And Mason, what does he do, Chandler? Throw the bomb.
He's throwing the bomb. He's
throwing the bomb to C.J. Johnson, who's running free at about the 12-yard line at that point. Hits him in stride. Touchdown, Pirates. Place goes crazy. All the players stop, point up to the section me and Chandler are in. Point up to us, give us a wink.
A salute, maybe.
Isaiah's on the sideline clicking.
Clicking at us.
He's clicking at us. And then they show me and Chandler on the Jumbotron. We lift up our shirts. We do some cool handshakes. And then we're legends forever.
They show us on the Jumbotron, and everybody's going to be shocked when they see us have the headsets on.
We have
headsets on.
The headsets on. I've got my play sheet on my wrist.
You might have the headsets on, but you're communicating with me back here at the studio because I'm going to call a fumble-rooski because it hasn't been running forever.
Well, immediately when they show us, because all the players are looking at us on the Jumbotron, we're holding up two.
I'm doing like the hand signals.
Because we're going for two, and Shirley's going to relay that play in. We get in the fumble-rooski for the 2-point conversion, and East Carolina takes an 8-0 lead with 11:37 left to go in the first quarter. And that place and Dowdy Ficklin is an absolute madhouse.
I'm just saying.
Did everybody out there just picture that?
Did you get that?
I mean, are you on board with us now? Oh, man. Before that,
if that play actually happens on Saturday, I might pass out in Section 3. I might pass out.
I would die a happy man if all that comes to fruition. All right, let's head out to the Pit Electric Live line. Joining us, the voice of the Pirates, Jeff Charles, here on this Wednesday. Jeff, how you doing today?
Cliff, I'm doing great. Getting ready for another Pirate football game. We kind of get into a routine now with these 7:30 games on Saturday night. So here we are again, getting ready for what's going to be another big game. And thank goodness the Pirates were able to get by Memphis last week in that 4-overtime game, which was pretty incredible, pretty miraculous, actually. So really keeps hopes alive now for this season. And Pirates are playing at home, and I know they'll be jacked up, and Pirate fans will too for this game with UCF.
Yeah, Jeff, longest game in East Carolina football history, and you were able to call it. And we've talked to some of the players this week. Some were aware of all the rules and the switching sides and things like that. This is the first time East Carolina's been involved in this format where you go to the automatic 2-point conversions in overtimes 3 and 4. So were you and Kevin, did you know what to expect there in OT? Were you ready to go when it began?
Well, I have to admit we had to go to the rule book and check it out, but we were able to find the information pretty quickly. And I think it's a good rule, Clip, because sometimes these games, even in overtimes, can go on for a long time. And pretty much now, even with the exception of that game with Bowling Green and Eastern Kentucky, I think we talked about earlier in the season, I think that game went 7 overtimes. Even a 4-overtime game is kind of rare. So it is what it is, and thank goodness the Pirates were able to prevail.
No doubt. And, man, all I could think about was last year, Jeff, when East Carolina was able to escape the Liberty Bowl, stopping a 2-point conversion. And how about it ends the same way this year at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium? East Carolina's defense able to get off the field. And credit to the offense for converting a couple of 2-point conversions, one to C.J. Johnson and one to Keaton Mitchell, Jeff, where he had a defender between him and the end zone. And you blink, and Keaton's by that man and in the end zone pretty easily.
Yeah, that was an incredible play by an incredible player. And that Memphis Tiger had him lined up dead to rights, and the next thing you know, Keaton was in the end zone, as I heard Steve Shankweiler earlier this week say, it's hard enough to tackle Keaton, but it's almost impossible even to tag him. He is so quick. So, yeah, he's a remarkable player. He really is. And you know, they're using him a little bit more now out of the backfield to catch passes, get the ball in his hands as much as possible. He had 4 catches last week. We all know what he did running the football, and he looked like the Keaton of old before the hip pointer injury. He was 100% last week, and the Pirates are going to need Keaton Mitchell and a whole lot more weapons this week against these USF Knights. We talked about how fast Keaton is. Well, UCF has a number of Keaton Mitchells on their team, so when you play against these guys, Clip, as you well know, looking down through the history of the series, they're usually the fastest team in the AAC, team speed-wise. I think that's the case again this year. And in the series, the Pirates have now lost 6 games in a row to UCF. They have lost now 8 of the last 9 games to the Knights, so it's been a tough series, but welcome to the club, because a lot of teams in the American have had a hard time beating UCF in recent years as well.
I asked Mark Daniels yesterday, how many heads are on this rushing monster for UCF, because they do it with the quarterback, John Rice Plumlee, but also a receiver in O'Keefe, and then you've got the traditional running backs. They will send a lot of guys at you in this ground attack, and as you said, speed all over the field.
Speed all over the field, and then they had a big back, Isaiah Bowser, who's a transfer from Notre Dame. He's the big back. He's 220 pounds, and by the way, Cliff, he is from Sidney, Ohio, which is just 15 miles up the road from where I grew up. And he has a lot of fans there and was a celebrated Ohio high school player. So he's a little bit different than the rest of them because he's more of a banger, although he's got pretty good speed. But you look, just like always, the receivers are really fast. The running backs are fast. The guys in the secondary can all run. They've got 2 really big corners. These are the biggest corners the Pirates have matched up with this year. One of them is 6'2", and the other one is 6'3". So Isaiah Winstead, as we all know, on a lot of these matchups, because he is 6'4", has been going up against 5'10", 5'11", maybe 6-foot corners. Well, these guys are almost looking eye to eye with him. So that's going to be interesting to watch on Saturday as well.
That was one of the things, that was the first thing Isaiah Winstead brought up to us when I asked, what have you seen from UCF? He mentioned tall corners and also said that they like to go man-to-man, one-on-one. He likes those matchups. We'll see if the Pirates can take advantage of those. But how about Isaiah this year, Jeff, coming in year 1 and his last year here at East Carolina, developed an early chemistry with Holton Ahlers, and we've seen it every Saturday so far with this ECU football team.
No doubt, Clip. I mean, he's been terrific, absolutely terrific. And I think everybody knew he was a good receiver coming here from Toledo, but I think he's exceeded expectations. I mean, this guy's hands are just great. All you have to do is throw it close to him, and his hands are like glue, and he's going to catch the ball. He's going to win those 50-50 battles and those matchups with corners most of the time. And so he's been great. Going into the season, we talked about how would these new receivers do? And, of course, he has been great. Jalen Johnson was playing terrific early on. Now he's not been able to play here recently, so they have missed him. But the Pirates have been able to throw the ball and catch it, as we all know very well. Holt Naylor's percentage continues to go up. He had another outstanding game last game out, and the tight ends are good. They catch balls, too, of course, in this offense. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch Isaiah Winstead and company this year. I think the Pirates are getting everything they can out of the passing game and out of their receivers, and I think maybe they've exceeded expectations a bit.
I agree, and man, if they didn't have so many receivers, you might think about putting Julius Wood on that side of the ball. That return, Jeff, he looked like he was reliving his glory days in high school, playing receiver, running back, kick returner, whatever it was. He made 3 guys miss on his way to the end zone. That was really impressive.
It really was, and there were some great blocks, too, that were thrown on that return, and Julius did a terrific job. He's a great athlete, Clip, and he's out of Columbus, Ohio, Walnut Grove High School. They've had a good program there for years. Went to Blinn Junior College in Texas and was pretty highly recruited coming out of Blinn. But the Pirates were able to get him. I understand his parents were at the game from Ohio this past week. And so, yeah, Julius is a heck of a player. You know, he really is. He's very athletic. He's tall at 6'2" in the secondary. He's a big hitter, has a nose for the ball. And he's been a really big part of the secondary this year for the Pirates, and he's done a great job. I think if he continues to play the last 5 games of the year like he has, I think he's an all-conference player.
Talking to Jeff Charles will be on the call coming up Saturday night, East Carolina, and UCF. It's got a big game feel to it, Jeff, so excited to be with you 3:30 on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. The Voice will join us hour number 1 for that one, and we will get you ready for the Knights and the Pirates' crucial game in the American. And, Jeff, how about on Saturday? You got a lot going on. I know you can kind of keep an eye on some other things, but maybe not fully watch it. But Alabama-Tennessee, one of the greatest games I've ever watched. We watched that during the pregame show. You had Oklahoma State and TCU going to double overtime. You had the Mariners and the Astros playing 18 innings. Saturday was a day for the ages in sports, and boy, we capped it off in the right way with 4 overtimes at Dowdy-Ficklin.
Yeah, it really was a great game. Of course, Clip, I'm pretty well tied up, so I don't have an opportunity to watch those baseball games, or maybe every now and then have a chance to peek in at a football game when we're up in the booth getting ready for a broadcast. But there were some great, great games. And that's what I think makes college football this time of the year so good, is once you get to mid-October, you know, you have these really terrific matchups and these conference battles, and we should have those through the end of the season, and then, of course, into the playoffs. So it's going to be a lot of fun watching, and then you talk about the Major League Baseball playoffs, and unfortunately, the Guardians, who I was really pulling for, couldn't get it done yesterday as they lost 5-1 to the Yankees, and I think there'll be some second-guessers out there with Terry Francona's decision to go with Aaron Savali as the starting pitcher yesterday, and he gave up that 3-run bomb to Giancarlo Stanton, and that put the Guardians behind the 8 ball, and they never really recovered. And the Yankees won Game 5, then hopped on an airplane and went right down to Houston to play the Astros tonight in the ALCS. So that's going to be a very interesting series. I think the Yankees have their hands full with Houston. Houston plays so well at home, and they have had a terrific year. And then here are the Phillies. They're just such a great story. They lost 10 of 13 in September, and everybody thought they were done. And then they came back from that bad streak and put things together. And here in the postseason, they've been lights out. And Zach Wheeler was lights out last night. He throws 7 innings, only gives up 1 hit. Bryce Harper hits a home run. Kyle Schwarber hits a home run. Sometimes, as you well know, Cliff, watching sports over the years, teams just seem to get on a roll, and they feel bulletproof. I think that's kind of the way that the Phillies feel right now.
No doubt. They are, they remind me a lot of last year's Atlanta Braves, the way they are rolling. And I've heard, Jeff, about the playoff format. Is there an advantage for teams that play in the wild card and they get to keep playing instead of having those days off? And yes, but also no, because the teams that, like the Braves, that won the division. They get to set their starters and things like that. So I've heard a lot of complaining about that, especially on the Dodgers side of things, but I think it's set up fair, and it's kind of just sour grapes when a team loses like that.
I think you're right. I think it depends on whether you're winning or you're losing. I think it'll be interesting to see about the Astros tonight because they have been sitting around. And, of course, people say, well, they're rested and they've had a chance to heal up a little bit, which is true. But listening to Terry Francona last night, the Cleveland manager, he said, if we win, I just want to go down and start the American League Championship Series just as soon as possible and play the next day. You know how baseball is. Baseball is like an everyday kind of sport. And sometimes you just get in a rhythm and you don't want to break it up with a couple of off days. So that'll be interesting to see. Now, you know, people will say, well, the Yankees are tired and they just came off an emotional series and they had to hop on a plane and go all the way to Houston last night, so they could be dead tired or emotionally they could be drained. And that's what they'll say if they lose the game tonight. If they win, they'll say, well, they kept the momentum going and those guys were riding on a high and they just went down there and took care of business because they're in a great rhythm. So it just depends on if you're on the winning or the losing side.
Yeah, well said. Jeff Charles joining us. Great time of the sports year. NBA tipping off last night. Hurricanes off to a 3-0 start. You got the playoffs in baseball, football here towards the middle of the season. So something for everybody, and some ECU basketball on the horizon. ECU Basketball Media Day going on today. We'll have that covered here from Pirate Radio. We got Minji's Madness coming up next Wednesday, 7 o'clock, Jeff. So we'll be sprinkling in some ECU hoops talk in our conversations here on Wednesdays.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And we'll talk with Coach Schwartz today. We'll talk with all the new players. As we all know, this is a new era starting for East Carolina basketball. A lot of new faces on this team. And it's hard to believe, but we're just right around the corner, Clip, from basketball season. The Pirates will open November the 8th at home against Mercer. So that's not that far away. And usually in November, and I think I counted this year, I think there are either 7 or 8 games in November. Sometimes I think we've had as many as 8 or 9 games in November. So once it starts, and you run through a lot of games before you even get to December the 1st. So that'll be interesting. The Pirates have a trip down to Florida in a 3-game tournament also coming up in November, so they're going to be jumping right into the fire. And as we talk a little hoops, the Hornets open up tonight at San Antonio against the Spurs, and they're going to open up without LaMelo Ball, who's out with a left ankle sprain. So it'll be interesting to see what the Hornets do this year with Steve Clifford, the former ECU assistant coach, was with Bill Herrion for 1 year as an assistant here with the Pirates. He's back for his second tenure, as you know, Clip, as the head coach of the Hornets. So we'll see what happens in Charlotte this year with the NBA team.
Yeah, they had a tumultuous offseason, to say the least, and went winless in the preseason. So my expectations are pretty low for the Bugs this year in Charlotte, but we'll see what happens. They take on Pop and the Spurs tonight to open up their season. Jeff, always enjoyed the chat. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you Saturday in the Pirate Radio studios on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, and we'll hear from you also Friday on the UBE Pirate Preview. So big week lies ahead.
Yeah, big week coming up, Clip. Always enjoy it. Thanks so much, and we'll see you this weekend.
Jeff Charles joining us on the Pit Electric Live line on this Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour number 1, get you set for hour 2 on this Wednesday. Back with more after this.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates. The doors open at noon, 7 days a week. And the Buck has live music every night, along with football. Monday is open mic night, the first Monday of each month. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday, it's acoustic night. Thursday, it's the dance party with DJ Kid Scene and live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for information and schedule of events. This season, party like a pirate at the Buck.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
Hi, this is Jeff Charles for my friends at Ed Watkins Marine. I've known Ed personally for years, covering his winning performances on the football field and on NASCAR's pit road. Now Ed is winning on the water, and you get to win too. You win with awesome prices on boats from Ed Watkins Marine, and of course, great service after the sale. If you're looking for a new boat, contact Ed Watkins Marine today. They will deliver anywhere. Find them online at edwatkinsmarine.com and tell them the voice sent you.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holt Nailers for my friends at ArcPoint Labs. Just as I trust my teammates, you can trust ArcPoint Labs to give you quick and accurate results for your laboratory testing needs. ArcPoint Labs provides insights and solutions to enable individuals, businesses, and communities to make informed decisions on their health, safety, and well-being. Visit any of the 6 Eastern North Carolina ArcPoint Labs locations or go to arcpointlabs.com. Go Pirates!
Where can you go where the beer is cold and friendship is forever? Pabst is the place that's in our hearts where we can be together.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. This is the place.
Hey Pirate fans, get stocked up for tailgating season with PBR at your favorite retailer. Look for the QR code on the PBR display and register for a chance to win a pizza oven. Game day or any day, all Pirates prefer PBR.
Hey, Ellerby, have you tried our new menu at Clean Eats? I was planning on going there today. Tell me what's new. First of all, you're going to love our new Melts. A Melts is a quesadilla folded over like a sandwich full of things like beef and queso and chicken parm. Scott, tell me you got more. Man, I do. We have pretzel bites with queso, our fabulous meat and taters wrap, and we even have Clean Eats mac and cheese, complete with beef or chicken on top. It all sounds awesome. I'm going to head over there now. Fantastic. I hope to see everybody at Clean Eats, 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in Eastern North Carolina. With homes in Blackwood, Mills Creek, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, they're constantly expanding. Now to Laurel Glen and Sarah's Way, plus the new duplex community at Abigail Trails. BMS Builders can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or ECU football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. Call 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Pirate Radio.
We'll strap it on with anybody, anywhere. It doesn't matter. I know this. I want to win or lose with the group that we have in our locker room.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hemp Garden is your premium CBD retailer in Eastern North Carolina. Find yourself having anxiety or in need of extra sleep support? Hemp Garden has a variety of Delta 8 and Delta 9 products that can assist with those issues. If you're unable to stop by the store, don't worry. Give them a call today at 413-6100 for a consultation, and they'll ship right to your door. Hemp Garden, located at 3040 South Evans Street in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, let's get people up to date on what's going on currently in the world of sports, and then we'll have to take another break, and then we'll get to Alex Walker and Patrick Mason here, hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Stephen Igoe coming up at 5 o'clock. Did just see that we just tweeted out on our Pirate Radio account. Looks like the midfield logo getting an overhaul, and it's going to look like my hoodie that I'm wearing today, which is black with a white skull in it, and they're going to go all black on the logo, and it's going to look cool on national TV coming up on Saturday night when the Pirates take on UCF. Great sports night tonight. So the Phillies win game 1 over the Padres, and Bryce Harper homer in that. How about Bryce Harper or Juan Soto going to the World Series, Chandler? So you'll see a former Nat in the World Series this year.
Yeah, and good for them. Juan Soto's already been there. Bryce Harper has not. The year just after he left D.C. is when the Nationals went on to win the World Series. So either one of them in the World Series, congratulations. But let Bryce Harper get a shot, I guess.
I've kind of calmed down on Bryce Harper as a Braves fan and a Harper hater. I wanted him. I thought it was hilarious that he left and then the team won the World Series.
Yeah.
And the Phillies stunk. Still not a fan, obviously, but I've softened on him a little bit over the years, I got to say. Game 2 coming up, 4:35, so we'll have that one on in about 30 minutes here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Tonight, Game 1, that's right, quick turnaround. The Yankees took care of the Guardians last night. They immediately head into Game 1 of the ALCS as they take on the Houston Astros coming up 7:37 on TBS. So we'll have that tonight at Sports Trivia. We'll have college football as Georgia State takes on Appalachian State. That at 7:30 on ESPN2. And we'll see if we can find a TV to put the lowly Hornets on. And the Hornets should be pretty bad this year. But when I saw that they were road favorites against San Antonio, it really raised my eyebrows about what the heck's going on with the Spurs. That line has now moved to even, so it's dropped a full 2 points in the last day. But still, for the Hornets to be a pick-em on the road shows you how far that Pop and the Spurs have fallen.
Yeah, winning those championships just a few years back, and now, I mean, my roommate sent me their roster yesterday, and I can only name like 2 or 3 players. And one of the players is the only reason I know him is because he was on my fantasy team last year. So their starting point guard is former Duke player Trey Jones. That's one of the guys that I know. Zach Collins is not even a starter. He's on the bench.
Gonzaga.
He went to Gonzaga.
He's been hurt a lot in his career. So, good player. Mm-hmm. National TV games, Knicks at Grizzlies, followed up by Mavericks at Suns. So those are the television games tonight as we throw a little NBA into the mix. Quick Hurricanes update. They are 3-0. Do they play tonight? They do not. So they'll be back on the ice coming up on Thursday night. Yes, at Edmonton, 9 o'clock.
They still undefeated?
They are 3-0 on the year. So Canes off to a great start. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I can't wait to hop on the bandwagon whenever playoffs come.
Yeah.
But if that gets here, but a good start for the Canes so far.
Yeah, always fun during playoff time. It is a long, long season, NBA and NHL. Kind of feels like they just wrapped up.
And MLB, were we talking about it with Bryce yesterday about how many games these players play?
Yeah.
And only a few games that some of these players missed. There's, some players that have played all 162 plus games.
Well, there are 2, Chandler, and those players are Matt Olson and Dansby Swanson.
Yeah.
Only 2 players to play all 162
and they're both on the
regular
Braves.
season games. They are.
Wow.
And they're both out of the playoffs because they lost to the Phillies. Gross. All right, there is your update on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Da Buck.
Da Buck.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Alex Walker will join us, our old buddy, formerly of WITN 7, now down in Orlando. We'll talk some UCF football and more when we return. Hour 2, Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
So how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
So how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Hello, Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and a multitude of advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,500 people, and we're one of the largest employers in our community and region. Pitt County Schools is currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. Come work for a diverse, thriving school system and be an important part of ensuring success for the students of Pitt County who are the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. And remember, education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools. Live and lead.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville, do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers. Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better brace yourself because this right here is a Papa John's Papa Bowl. No crust, just piping hot toppings and melty cheese in an oven-baked bowl. Better ingredients, better pizza, now in a bowl, Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, brace yourself for the brand new Papa Bowls for only $7.99. The new Papa Bowls are an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American Airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour brought to you by Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Drive a little and save a lot with a short trip to Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio, perfect for some outdoor dining. There's something for everyone every weeknight, including sports trivia on Wednesdays with our very own Clip Brock. AJ's has live music every Friday and Saturday with no cover and brunch every Sunday. Make today an AJ's Day. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip Brock.
Looking forward to a fun night, great sports trivia night at AJ McMurphy's. We introduced something new last week, specialty categories for each of the teams. So if you're a team that comes out tonight, you will be given you'll tell me a specialty category. For example, Peter Foote and his team specialty category is 2022 ECU men's basketball. So questions about last basketball season. Chandler's teams is Super Bowl MVPs. CJ's team is Premier League or Champions League winners since 2010. So everybody has their specialty category. I come up with a very difficult question in that realm and see if you can answer it.
Didn't Peter's team, are they going with the same category?
They are.
Okay.
And they missed last week's.
Yeah. And I got it wrong when you asked me. I think you asked me off the air.
The question was, East Carolina played Old Dominion last year twice in basketball. Named the 4 Pirates to score in double figures against the Monarchs last season. The answers were
Tristan Newton, Brandon Suggs, Brandon Johnson, and then there was also, of course,
the man we like to call Vance Jackson.
Vance Jackson. Gosh.
How quickly you forget.
Yeah.
Vance Jackson. All right, we'll talk a little hoops when Igoe gets here, and Patrick as well. He was at Media Day, so we'll talk about that. But right now, we will talk some Pirate football. East Carolina set to take on UCF Saturday night, 7 o'clock. And Alex Walker, this was 4 or 5 years ago, will be at the game covering it for WITN 7. Now he is down in Florida, in Orlando, covering sports, including UCF, and he joins us on the Pit Electric Live line. Alex, how you doing, man?
Hey, man, it's great. Thanks for having me. It's been a while, but things are going well in Florida. And great to be back on Pirate Radio and talk a little ECU UCF this Saturday.
You remember Alex from WITN TV with sports with Billy Weaver a few years ago. And Alex, catch us up. You've had another stop since you landed there in Florida. So what's your sports anchor journey been like? Catch us up.
Yeah, it's been awesome, man. Left Greenville. Had a wonderful 2 years there. Left in 2018, so it's already been 4 years, which is crazy.
Wow.
Spent 4 years in Lexington, Kentucky, so covering all things Kentucky Wildcats, John Calipari, and Mark Stoops and his football team. It was the best 4-year stretch in UK football history, which was a lot of fun to be a part of. 2 Citrus Bowls and a couple wins in between in bowl games. But, covering UK, covered a lot of horse racing, got to cover a Kentucky Derby for the first time this past May, which was a lot of fun. Dress up, do the whole 9 yards with all the bourbon and all that good stuff. But I left Lexington about a month ago and arrived here in Orlando, Florida at as the lead sports anchor at the ABC station down here. So it's been fun so far. We got UCF and the Orlando Magic start tonight against Detroit. So a lot of fun stuff going on. Orlando City MLS Soccer just bowed out in the playoffs, but a lot of fun stuff going on around here.
Good stuff, and you get to watch a good football team week in, week out. This UCF team, that one loss, which going back to that one against Louisville, I know they'd like to have that one back, Alex. They a better team, I think, than Louisville, but not on that night, and that's the one blemish on this UCF resume right now.
It is a blemish, and it's such a puzzling result. It was a Friday night. It was a packed house here at UCF, and they just let Louisville hang around. You see games like this all the time where you're the better team clearly, but if you just let a mediocre team hang around and get some hope late, anything can happen. And UCF did not slam the door, and Louisville was able to pull out a win on the road. And you look at Louisville's results this season, and you still wonder, how did that result happen? Because Louisville is very middle of the pack in the ACC. They have a coach in Scott Satterfield that, doesn't really have a lot of support from the fan base right now. And so you look at that one blemish and go, how did that happen? But at the same time, you can't let a week 2 result hinder what you do the rest of the season, and UCF certainly hasn't. And they've been all systems go after that Georgia Tech win, and they've been putting some good things together the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and how much of that is due to the play of John Rice Plumlee right now, as he looks like he's getting it done, certainly on the ground, but coming off, 4 touchdowns against Temple. So how about him at quarterback, Alex? It looks like he's more dangerous maybe with his legs than his arm, but he can certainly do it both.
This is a guy in John Rice Plumlee. When I got down here and saw that John Rice Plumlee was QB1 for UCF, like, that dude's still playing college football? This guy was this guy played for Ole Miss and went from quarterback to wide receiver, and then he was playing a little tight end, and then he played college baseball. And you forget sometimes that John Rice hasn't played as a starting quarterback in a couple of years. And so when you factor that in, you say, okay, this guy's still kind of reacclimating himself to the position and getting those reps and getting comfortable with his guys. And he transferred in, and he's really been solid the last couple of weeks. Against Georgia Tech, he only threw for like 40 yards and missed a bunch of easy throws. But now he's really getting into a rhythm. And he has the ability to run the football, and he can lower the shoulder. He's not afraid to, just like Holton Ahlers, not afraid to lower the boom over a linebacker. But at the same time, he's a shorter quarterback, but when he zips that ball over the line, he's got a solid arm. I mean, he threw for 300 and change against Temple this past week and had 7 total touchdowns. And Clip, I know you'll appreciate this this throwback. So 7 touchdowns by a UCF player ties Dante Culpepper.
Oh wow!
For the most all time at UCF, and Darren Slack as well. But Dante Culpepper, I was like, you're in decent company if you're mentioning with Dante. So yeah, John Rice has been solid, and we'll see if his offense can travel up to Greenville.
Yeah, and those offensive numbers very impressive for UCF. And then you look to the defensive side, giving up 14 points per game. And even that game they lost, we talked about with Louisville, they gave up 20 to Malik Cunningham. And Louisville struggles, but Cunningham can get his, and they were able to allow just 20 points in that one. So it looks like they are bringing some defense with them to Greenville this Saturday night.
Yeah, that's the thing about UCF this year is you don't typically think of UCF as, they've got a great defense. But Travis Williams in his second year as defensive coordinator for UCF really has this group humming. And what makes this group so impressive is, they're only giving up 14 points a game or so. That's top 10 in the country. But the bigger number to me is they're number 1 in the country in red zone defense. And so they've shown the ability to bend, not break when it really matters. Opponents have only scored on 11 of 21 trips this season. That's really impressive. Here's the thing, though, about the defense. Yes, they're strong. Yes, they're solid, and statistically one of the best units in the country. But I still don't think we really learned a whole lot about this team. And you look at their schedule; their best wins SMU, and SMU I think is going to be middle of the pack in the American. And so UCF's defense has been good against who? Florida Atlantic, Louisville, Georgia Tech, SMU, Temple. They've been good and they've been doing their job, but we're really going to learn a lot about this group starting Saturday against ECU. You got ECU, they play Cincinnati here, then they go to Memphis, to Tulane, and that's the meat of the make or break part of their schedule. We're going to learn a lot about UCF this Saturday. Can their defense travel, and can they do it against an ECU offense that, as we know, when they're humming, and we'll see if they can produce those same red zone numbers in a rowdy night atmosphere there in Greenville.
Alex Walker joining us, and Alex, one of the cool parts about what you do and then what we do, we get to know these players. We also get to know these coaches. So how about Gus Malzahn? He's kind of been close to the mountaintop, was in a BCS championship game, Sugar Bowl, Peach Bowl, been in all those big-time games, big-time bowls with Auburn. Now goes to UCF, 9-4 a year ago, playing well this year. Sometimes you get those coaches that have been in the SEC and they, quote-unquote, take a step downward, I guess, to a job like UCF. But I don't know. How's his temperament? How's it been working with Coach Malzahn?
It's been great covering Gus so far, and I think what last year proved with Cincinnati finally breaking through as a quote-unquote group of 5 team is that, Gus realizes that he can accomplish his same goals at UCF that he did in the SEC. When Cincinnati finally breaks through, you're saying, okay, if you're a good enough team in this league, like Cincinnati was last year and what UCF possibly could be this year, you can still accomplish the same thing. And so he realizes that UCF, it's Florida. The recruiting hotbed is incredible. And so you're able to recruit guys here. You look at some of his receivers are SEC transfers and guys that were good enough to play at Auburn and Alabama but decided to play at UCF and light it up here. And so Gus, he made the decision to come here knowing he can still compete for a national championship. And he also came here knowing that this is a UCF team set to join the Big 12 next year. And so that definitely was part of the strategy, I think, of knowing that, hey, this UCF team is on the brink of, being a part of a bigger plan, a bigger conference. And so when, this year is over and you start playing, some bigger opponents and have the chance to have some better bowl tie-ins and all that, I think he realizes this is a great opportunity. And UCF, I didn't realize when I got here, UCF's one of the biggest universities in the country. So he has the resources and the money to still make it work here. and he gets to be in Orlando instead of Auburn. Against the Plains. Nothing against the Plains, but I think it's a little nicer to live in Orlando.
Yeah, it's got its advantages, I'm sure. I gotta say, Alex, if East Carolina was in the position UCF was, I'd be watching Big 12 football every week. I'd be looking forward to next year, talking about next year. But how much does that conversation creep in? Obviously not with Coach Malzahn and the players, but fans, people around there. How excited are they for the move to the Big 12?
They're very excited, and we've already talked to fans about the move. The Big 12 commissioner is set to make his visit to Orlando next Wednesday in advance of that big UCF Cincinnati homecoming game, October 29th. So he's going to be here next week. And so in advance of that, we were talking to some fans about, hey, how eager are you for this move, and how can you not be excited? I think a big part of it is, when you're in the American, there are some great opponents that come in and that you visit, but it's not a week-to-week thing. Sometimes it's like, okay, if Temple comes to town on a random Thursday, how excited can you get, as a fan? Nothing against Temple, but that's just kind of the nature of college football. But, when you're in the Big 12 and you got, at least for 2 years, you got Texas coming, you got Oklahoma coming, you got even just a Texas Tech or, this year Kansas, TCU, teams like that have big fan bases, and that gets you excited a little more than some of the other schools in the league. But they're excited. It's going to be a fun move, and excited to see some of those schools come here next year.
Talking to Alex Walker, joining us today on the Pit Electric Live Line. Alex, down there in Orlando with our old buddy who we talked to earlier this week, Zach Maskovich. Alex at WFTV down there in Orlando. How's Zach doing? Y'all still going out on the nightlife? He's about married now, though, right? He's got a main squeeze.
He does, and she's wonderful. And no, it's awesome to be, as you guys know, back when Zach and I were in Greenville together, we were really close and had a great relationship there, and that's continued. We haven't lost touch over the last 3-4 years, and it's great to be back in a city with a really close friend, and that's been wonderful so far to already have a nice friend group down here. So that's been great.
No doubt. And Alex, you were welcome to Florida with the hurricane. Really brought you back to your time in Eastern North Carolina, I'm sure. But how's everything going on that end? Are you settled in down there yet?
Yeah, things are going well with that. Yeah, hurricane here, and they were asking. I had to go out and cover the hurricane for a couple of days, and they were asking me on the air, like, is this your first hurricane? I said, well, it's my first Central Florida hurricane. I was there for Michael and Matthew back in Eastern North Carolina, and so a little bit of experience with hurricanes. But for me, I'm thankful because I had little to no impacts on my apartment and life, but there was a lot of serious flooding issues down in Central Florida, especially on the coast there in Southwest Florida. And so nothing to complain about on my end. I'm just glad the water is starting to recede and everyone's starting to get a little bit of sense of normalcy. But you know how that is in North Carolina, too. When something blows through like that, you just count your blessings that you're okay and do what you can to help everybody else out.
Alex, good stuff. Alex, what else you got going on outside of UCF football? You mentioned some Magic hoops. What else are you covering down there in Orlando?
Well, for you guys that are in North Carolina, you guys are very familiar with Paolo Banchero. So, this is you look at the Orlando Magic, and this is a team that's had 3 number 1 picks in their history before Paolo, and they've been to the finals with all 3 of those players. You look at Dwight Howard, you look at Shaquille O'Neal, and you look at Penny Hardaway by way of Chris Webber. And so you have 3 number 1 picks, you hit on all of them, and then you hope you hit again with Paolo, because this is a Magic team that has not been very good outside of Aaron Gordon a couple of years ago. But a lot of excitement around the Magic. They start tonight, so that'll be fun. We also cover Orlando City, the MLS franchise. The season is wrapping up here. They just lost to Montreal in the playoffs. But cover little Florida Gators. Of course, we'll have Daytona coming up in February. Orlando's getting an XFL franchise again. So we'll see how that goes. The last time XFL was in Orlando, they had a pretty fun following at Camping World Stadium. So a little XFL, a little PGA Tour, and then it'll be a lot of fun. Especially, I'm excited to dive into a little NASCAR here in February. So lots going on, and especially with some bowl games as well. So we'll have the Cheez-It Bowl and the Cure Bowl and the Citrus Bowl and whatever else is going on.
Nice. No shortage of things to cover down there in sunny Florida. Alex, great to catch up with you, man. Keep up the good work, and we'll keep in touch and get you back on. But good to talk some sports with you today.
Hey, you as well, man. It was great talking to you, and hope we all enjoy this UCF-ECU game on Saturday. Have fun.
Going to be a fun one. Alex Walker joining us today on the Pit Electric Live Line. Good to catch up with our old friend from WITN 7 down in Orlando now. All right, let's take a break. When we return, Patrick Mason, Daily Reflector, will join us. We'll talk some football and a little hoops. He was at ECU Basketball Media Day, so we'll talk all things ECU athletics with Patrick Mason as we roll on hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Fans, time to get back in black this week as the Pirates host American rival UCF Saturday night at 7:30. It's our Painted Black game. Tickets are still available for as low as $50 in the lower bowl or $35 in the upper level. Break out your best Pirate gear in black for East Carolina and UCF. It's the Pirates and the Knights, Saturday night at 7:30 at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium.
Are you ready for some football, Pirate Nation? Bud Light is America's favorite light beer and the official beer of the ECU Pirates. When planning your fun times this football season, be sure to pick up some Bud Light at your favorite retailer. Bud Light carefully brews their beer to be perfect for anywhere there's fun. Because when there's fun, Bud Light is there. Get ready to have fun this season, Pirate Nation, and always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business today, come and see someone on our team at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard here in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome to US Cellular, where new and current customers choose any phone they want for free.
Free? Even the one with 5G and lots of storage?
Free.
And the one with the latest everything?
Free.
At US Cellular, any phone you see is free, whether you're a new or current customer. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
We all love using Uber Eats, DoorDash, and grocery pickup. It makes life so much easier. Well, now there is cellular delivery, and the team at Cellular Warehouse has perfected the process. They will deliver your new phone right to your door with all your information loaded on the new phone. And the best thing is there is no charge for this awesome service. And you don't have to waste half the day sitting in a Cellular store. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051 and let his team of experts make your cellular delivery today. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent, serving all of Eastern North Carolina.
Hi, Pirate Nation. This is Kyle Gaines from Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Are you ready for fall? Because we are with our fall savings event. Also, are you tired of other dealers marking up their vehicle over MSRP? Don't worry, because at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we don't do that. Come work with the best salesman in Beaufort County, Stephen Tyson, voted by Washington Daily News. Have the pleasure of working with the best sales staff in Eastern North Carolina during our fall savings event. We have a vehicle for every need. Come check out the all-new design Jeep Grand Cherokee and more. And remember, drive a little, save a lot. Go Pirates.
University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern has been serving the tech repair needs of Eastern North Carolina since 2006. And as one of the only Apple authorized service providers east of Raleigh, all our technicians are Apple certified, and we only use genuine Apple parts. Your iPhone and Mac warranties are safe with us. Have questions or need service? Call 252-558-1280 or visit us online at universitypccare.com. University PC Care, your one-stop shop for service on everything Apple.
ASAP Party and Tent Rentals is your one-stop shop for weddings, anniversaries, corporate events, family reunions, birthday parties, or any celebration with friends and family. ASAP Party and Tent Rentals has the widest selection of tents, tables, chairs, linens, china, concession equipment, bounce rides, games, staging, wedding equipment, dance floors, and so much more. At ASAP Party and Tent Rentals, we help people get together. Call today at 756-7903. ASAP Party and Tent Rentals, locally owned and operated on Diamond Drive in Greenville near Agri-Supply and Equipment Plus.
Pirate Radio.
We're going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and older. That's always a good combination.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour brought to you by Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Drive a little and save a lot with a short trip to Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Town Insurance is your premier independent insurance agency. From maximizing opportunities to minimizing risk, Town's insurance advisors offer expert professional advice to clients of all sizes. For personal or business insurance questions, call 756-8300 today. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Reading an NFL story right now that said Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft engaged in a heated exchange. I'm like, no way. This is probably bogus. And I'll just read it from the article from ESPN.com. There was a 31-1 vote on Tuesday to permit their compensation committee to open negotiations on a new contract with Roger Goodell. Kraft joined the overwhelming majority in support for the measure. Jerry Jones was the lone dissenter in the owners-only session, eventually telling Kraft, "Don't F with me." Kraft replied, "Excuse me?" Jerry Jones said, "Don't mess with me, boy." He didn't say boy, but I bet he says boy a lot. I could see Jerry Jones saying boy quite a bit. Boy. All right, so I guess that was the back and forth.
Don't mess with me, boy.
Boy?
Don't mess with me, boy. Don't F with me, boy.
Don't F with me, boy.
You know who I am? And there it was.
Glory hole.
Glory hole.
Mr. Glory Hole himself, Jerry Jones. So, all right, we got owners going at it. That's good. Jim Irsay, ready to get rid of Dan Snyder. That's awesome. How about these guys? These children.
Takes some merit.
These billionaire children going at it. Patrick Mason joins us. Hey, Patrick.
What's up? I'm not a billionaire.
So I know, man. What if you were? What do you think you'd be doing right now if you were a billionaire?
I don't know. I'd probably just be hanging out somewhere. Just lounging somewhere warm.
Yeah, somewhere warm. Maybe an indoor pool.
You'd have to have a lot of hobbies, though.
I know. You would get really bored.
Yeah.
And they say, like, money can't buy you happiness, which is the biggest BS ever.
Right.
I could buy a lot of happiness right now if I had more money. But, yeah, you probably would get bored. Like, I have a daughter in 8th grade, so we'd have to – I can't just take her out of school if I'm a billionaire. I guess I could, but I would want her to have a normal life.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And you got to, like, as a kid, you want to interact with other kids. And
right, yeah.
Hang out, like, you know.
See your friends.
She's not ready just to shut it down yet, you know.
Probably not.
Maybe us. Yeah, let's go.
That's a good point. Chandler, what would you be doing if you were a billionaire?
I don't know. I'd probably going to as many, like, sporting events as possible.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And
like maybe be in Houston tonight or...
Yeah.
Are you San Antonio for the Hornets game?
And get a box seat every time.
Yeah.
Like, that's what – have y'all ever heard of the Marlins man?
Yeah,
like the guy that sits behind, he goes to all these big sporting events. That's basically what I would do. You just, find the best seat in the house, best suite in the house, and go to all these sporting events.
No, that's a good point.
Stay in a penthouse at the nicest hotel in the downtown area.
So you're just doing some fun things.
Yes.
Just have a blast.
You're a billionaire. Why would you not do fun things? Would you be interested in owning a franchise?
I don't know if I would want to be a part of that and be a part of that stress.
You could, if you're doing your...
I might buy like a minority type of deal. Might be a minority owner.
Not
would you
football.
Majority owner? Like be in control of everything?
Yeah. I would like if I had like Robert Kraft money. Yeah,
I would be a billionaire and not have to worry about that stress. I would go and sit in a box like an owner would and watch a game. I can just pretend I'm the owner of any sporting event. Say I go to a Milwaukee Bucks game. They're playing, I don't know, the 76ers. I can go, hey, give me a box suite. Give me a suite.
You'd rather be that guy than have to be tied down to one franchise.
Yes.
Yeah. Patrick, what if you were the hero that finally took control away from the McCaskies or whatever?
For the Bears? Yeah.
And, like, you could be a legend if you bought the team from them.
Yeah. I would 100% be a sports owner. It would be awesome. I think there's no downside. You really don't have to be accountable to anybody. You can just go hide. You don't have to answer questions from the media. I mean, you could just hide out and, what are you going to do?
And what did they want? They
kind of like David Tepper.
They only get on you if you're like too out there in the open. Like you're too hands-on. Okay, fine. I'll just not do anything.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't watch my money grow while the team wins or loses. Doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
Somehow somehow the team is more worth more today than they were yesterday. That's all that matters.
Right.
So, all right. There you go. There's billionaire talk. What would you do if you were a billionaire?
Listen to PRL and hang out.
It'd be cool to have a radio or some type of show, I guess, podcasting live if you were a billionaire and could just tell everybody to F off. That would be pretty entertaining.
Thoughts from a billionaire.
Yeah. I feel like that would...
Deep thoughts from a billionaire.
Josh said he'd have his name on the indoor practice facility. Well, yeah. I'd obviously have some cool stuff over at ECU.
Just put your name on everything with concrete.
I'd give Mike Schwartz that film room that he wants.
Yeah. I just thought about this. We're talking about billionaires. Speaking of billionaires, Robert Kraft had his wedding. He had a bunch of honorary guests. If you're a billionaire and a lot of people know you, you only can get 10 honorary guests. Or let's chime it down to 5. 5 honorary guests, anybody. Pop culture, sports, anybody. Who's your 5 that you're inviting?
Great question.
To my wedding?
To your wedding, like Robert Kraft.
So you're assuming at this point that hell has frozen over.
Because you're getting married?
Well, you're a billionaire. Do we have to marry somebody 40 years younger than us?
I think it's required.
Yeah, I think if you're a billionaire, that's a requirement.
Yeah, you have.
You are already
So
you're 80 years old.
I was about to say
you're marrying a 35-year-old.
I can't legally marry an infant.
No,
like
you're marrying.
Newborn.
You're marrying a 35-year-old. You're 80.
Okay.
Who are you inviting? 5 guests.
Let's see. Athletic world, actor, musician. Maybe Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. He'd be cool to hang out with.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
Talk some music with.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to hang out with him. Somebody else name one.
I would just like people to have just fun people to party with.
Yeah,
fun people to hang out with.
I think people that would have fun.
Such as?
So the 2 people I'm thinking of right now, John Daly and Adam Sandler.
Get a wild wedding.
That's going to be an interesting matchup.
Nice day for a wild wedding.
I'm inviting Stephen Igoe. No doubt.
Why?
All
right.
Just because he walked in the door.
How about Russell Wilson?
No. What a loser. What a dork. What a dork.
Oh, he's already dog cussing you in the lobby.
Why? He seems cool, man.
He would just want to do like a
Hey,
TikTok.
Chandler.
I got one.
That's right.
It's spicy. Hey, these hors d'oeuvres are spicy.
Mine would be Cat Williams.
Where's the Subway subs?
Cat Williams. Oh, I didn't think about comedians.
Yeah, Cat Williams.
Can I bring Greg Giraldo back from the grave? Maybe Jeff Ross.
Jeff Ross. Oh,
To like roast the entire wedding?
Yeah,
that would be, you know what?
Yeah.
Add him to my list.
Yeah, Cat Williams would be one of mine.
So I got Dave Grohl and Jeff Ross right now. I'm trying to get to 5.
You can just leave it at 3.
Patrick, you haven't named one person.
I know. I don't know.
Do you not like participating in our events?
If I'm a billionaire, I don't know if I want these people crashing my wedding.
Freeloaders.
What, to take away the attention from yourself?
Probably. Yeah, if I'm a billionaire, I've got an ego too, right?
Yeah,
You don't even hang out with millionaires anymore.
Center of
That's
attention.
right.
Yeah,
I don't want John Legend or something out here playing the piano and showing me up.
Speaking of musicians, Taylor Swift. I would do Taylor Swift. Because I think she'd be fun.
A lot of people don't know who this is, but he's a comedian. Theo Vaughn. I'm going to bring Theo Vaughn to my wedding.
I know who he is. All right. Chandler just wants to laugh, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And drink beer.
Have a good time. Okay.
I would bring Ashlyn Harris.
Soccer
goalie. But also when she was on the World Cup, when they won the most recent World Cup, which was in 2019, I believe. She became the queen of content in terms of the celebrations that normally you don't get to see in the locker rooms, especially with women's soccer. And so I think she would be a lot of fun running around with her cell phone, hanging out with Cat Williams and
This guy, I'm pretty sure, went to Robert Kraft's wedding, but I'm inviting Gronk.
All right. So again, you have a clear theme for your guests.
Yeah, people that are fun.
Just party, fun.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, because like I said, if I'm getting married, if I'm a billionaire and I'm getting married, hell has frozen over, so you might as well have a good time while you're at it. So you bring the most fun people you know.
Who was at Robert Kraft's wedding?
Tom Brady.
Not Bill Belichick.
Tom Brady.
I don't know who was there.
There was a slew, and I mean a slew of celebrities.
Slew.
Kelly Clarkson.
Ed Sheeran performed at Robert Kraft's wedding.
Elton John was there, I believe.
I love Ed Sheeran.
Elton John, that'd be cool.
It's just like a rich
Elton
people
John.
party.
Oh, have him sing.
With just
Have Elton John sing? Yeah.
I'd probably just bring like 5 friends.
Yeah.
Hey,
Can I bring my wife to my wedding? My new wedding?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so she'd be there to see me get married.
All right, so since you're marrying and since you're 80 years old, you're no longer married to your wife. You can allow her
What
to.
happened to her?
Well, she's still in your life, I guess, but you're marrying somebody that's a 35-year-old. But to compensate her, you can be like, hey, you can invite 3 of your favorite, actors or actresses.
Chandler, my ex-wife in this hypothetical scenario is not coming to my wedding. Now you've made me mad about a hypothetical scenario that doesn't even exist and never will.
What if it was amicable, though?
Yeah, I guess, but am I wasting one of my picks on my wife? No, I'm not. No, she's not coming.
But she had nothing to do. You just all of a sudden turned into an 80-year-old billionaire.
Patrick,
do you want to talk about sports?
How was basketball media day?
I feel like this segment always gets off the rail right away.
By the way, it's over. Thanks for coming.
It was actually pretty good. I think it went well. I think we learned a little bit from.
What did you learn?
Mike Schwartz.
What did you learn?
Basically, this season will be a lot about growth, development, and kind of figuring out what the baseline is for the future.
AKA, they're going to lose a lot of games.
Yeah. I guess when Mike Schwartz was asked, how he will define success, he just said, I'm not necessarily going to put a win and loss total on it. We're going to talk about, building an identity, setting up a culture. And yeah, I think that's almost what it has to be, right?
Yeah.
You have to just kind of figure out, you got to set in the floor, set in, what you want to do moving forward. I mean, that's what the season has to be.
It stinks because if you've been an ECU basketball watcher for a long time, you're tired of being patient, but you're going to have to be. This season is a complete, he's got a free pass on whatever happens, really.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is.
Yep. I mean, also a lot of new players, a new roster. It's like almost everyone's starting from square one. And, I talked to a few players, too, and, they're kind of excited about being in on the ground floor of this. Like they get to be the first team here to go through and try to set some sort of expectation, some sort of ground level of what this team's going to be.
Programming alert thanks to John Moody, East Carolina. Wait. Oh, crap. He must have sent this. Oh, so the game's almost over. East Carolina is taking on Memphis on ESPNU till 5 o'clock if you want to watch the end of the game again. Mike P. says he's definitely inviting Marshawn Lynch to his wedding. Just hope he has a driver.
And a bunch of Skittles on deck.
To the wedding. Good news. We asked Mike Schwartz last week when he joined me here on Pirate Radio Live, will this be the year we get to see Winston Tabbs on the court? He said he was very close to being cleared to practice. What's the latest on Winston Tabbs?
Yeah, so he said Winston Tabbs was cleared for contact. His first contact practice was yesterday. So in the right direction, but he did say, however, he's not been cleared for games. So
baby steps.
Right. But hey, he's back on the court. He's playing, he's running through pads type of stuff. So he's getting there. And, that's really the first huge step is getting on the court and actually, making some cuts and running into people a little bit. So definitely a good sign.
Can you imagine the frustration that he has had? I mean, we are frustrated because we haven't been able to see him, and I said it this way to Coach Schwartz, like the thing that he loves, the thing that he's really good at, he's been unable to do for like 2.5 years or whatever. I mean, that is just crazy.
It's a long time. And I think for whatever reason, basketball players are unique in that, like, they just always play basketball year round. Like, even NBA players, when the season's over, like, you'll see videos of guys playing at Lifetime Fitness. Like, you just got to hoop games, all the time. So if you can't do that, it's got to be so frustrating. And you just got to be looking around like, what am I doing here? When's my body going to catch up to what I want to do?
Well, I'm sure he's taken 1 million shots since he's been able to actually play in a game. So hopefully the shot hasn't been affected. It's about kind of everything else, the moving, the defense, and all that. So excited if we can see him on the court. It's almost an added bonus at this point. Like, you don't even factor him into the roster, but if he's out there, certainly gives you, I don't know, a little more credibility as a basketball team.
It does, because he showed an ability to score and be a good player when he was healthy. Boston College and stuff. So, yeah, and I mean, it'll take him some time to get up to speed and, get back into the groove. But, yeah, absolutely. It'll be a huge boost to this team when he comes back. And honestly, it seems like I've, talked to a lot of the young guys. Like, every time I ask them, who's kind of helped you in this transition to college, and almost everyone said Winston Tabbs has just been a really good rock for them.
Who's your favorite newcomer, Patrick? And I realize we haven't seen him on the court yet, so I'll let you change your answer once we see actual games. But what newcomer are you most excited about?
I actually had a good conversation with Jaden Walker, maybe partly because he was from Iowa State, and we had a little conversation about Iowa and Iowa State. So that was just kind of fun. Caleb LeCount, too, the freshman. I think it'd just be interesting to see, how he translates to the college level as well.
He's my guy. I'm excited about him.
For sure. And I think they just both kind of had a good little personality, and it was nice talking with them. So it'll be fun to see them out actually playing games.
Patrick Mason joining us. We'll take a break, come back, get his thoughts on East Carolina UCF coming up this Saturday night at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Once again, they are in the second overtime on ESPNU if you want to see how Saturday night's game ended.
You think they pull it out?
I think they're going to do it. We'll take a timeout, come back, have more for you after this.
Here today with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. Hey Jeff, how's inventory going?
Inventory levels are increasing. For the first time in over 45 days, we have Mazdas in stock, Buick in stock, Cadillac in stock, and GMC in stock. I highly encourage the customer to go to gmc.com, build and price their vehicle, share that with Brown & Wood, and let us place your order. We need some price protection for these customers, and you got to place an order to have that.
Brown & Wood, your #1 dealership in Greenville, and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
When it comes to hauling dirt, asphalt, or stone, you can trust the pros at First and Goal Hauling Incorporated. They have a fleet of dump trucks ready to get the job done. And best of all, it's owned and operated by ECU football alum Dakota Marshall. When you have a big job and you need it done right, count on First and Goal Hauling, where it's a touchdown every time. Keep up with Dakota Marshall and First and Goal Hauling by following them on Facebook today.
Will the you of tomorrow be happy with the you of today? It all depends on the decisions the you of today makes. For instance, the you of today has an excellent career opportunity with Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. The pay is great, very competitive with other HVAC companies. Plus, you could get a $1,500 sign-on bonus. The you of tomorrow will enjoy some time away because Delcor also offers paid vacation. Most HVAC companies don't. And since the you of today has some experience, Delcor might just hire you on the spot.
Delcor is hiring 12 experienced HVAC and plumbing professionals immediately. You must have a valid driver's license, ability and desire to work, and legally eligible to work in the U.S. Delcor offers a sign-on bonus up to $1,500, plus one of the best benefits packages in the industry, including health insurance, paid vacation, and retirement options. Learn more at DelcorInc.com. That's DelCorinc.com.
The you of tomorrow will thank the you of today for getting a job at Delcor. Delcor is an equal opportunity employer.
Greenville Utilities electric customers will soon be able to receive text notifications in the event of power outages. Enrollment is automatic, so make sure GUC has your cell phone number by signing into your account at GUC.com, then update the information in your user profile. Want to talk with someone instead? Call 252-752-7166 during business hours. 252-752-7166. Update us so we can update you. Visit GUC.com for more information.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I'm here. State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
Come and explore great shopping in downtown Washington at Naughty Life. Hi, this is Gina from Naughty Life, and new fall merchandise is arriving every day, featuring all the new Yeti products, like the loadout buckets and waterproof dry duffel bags. We have new fall clothes for men, women, and children. At Naughty Life, we have something perfect for any occasion, like new jewelry and a great selection of sunglasses from Costa, Reflect, and RCI. Visit Naughty Life on Main Street in historic downtown Washington, and like us on Instagram and Facebook.
This is Ryan Jones, and you listen to Power Radio, the voice of the Power Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour brought to you by Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Drive a little and save a lot with a short trip to Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese, biscuits, and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. And both locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
All right. Hennigan hits his receiver. Now the Pirates have to get a 2-point conversion. And if I'm East Carolina here, I have Ehlers go through 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 reads, and then give it to Keaton Mitchell.
Out on the flat, probably, right?
And let him just go to work.
I think that works good. What do you say?
Let's go for it. Ready, break. All right.
And if they get it, just I say go right to C.J. Johnson.
Right to him.
Just right to him.
Yep. All right. We'll see how we do. All right. Thoughts on UCF, Patrick? They're a good team.
They're a very good team. It's probably one of the better teams the EC will face in a little while and probably will face. They can score, and they can score really fast. Like, I think Mike Houston talked about it, like that the score was tight last week for their game, and all of a sudden the score was out of hand, like just like that. So that's definitely an issue. You got to find a way to not give up some big plays, which ECU's defense has been doing lately, especially in the first half of this Memphis game. They got down early really quick. But the defense, I think, played good enough to win at the end of the game in the second half. But you just really have to avoid, UCF just dropping one on you and scoring, 28 points in a blink.
Yeah, and we talked earlier, what do you do if you're East Carolina? Do you try to go ball control, take the air out of the ball, or do you get into a fist fight with UCF up and down the field? What mode do you go there?
I think you have to go like the fist fight up and down the field. I mean, we've seen ECU try to milk some drives and put some drives together, and I think the result of that was just the rhythm wasn't there. If you try to hey, let's dink and dunk, we found that they struggle with that, at least lately. So I think you just try to score and just go at them.
Going to be a lot of stress on the defense taking on John Rice Plumlee, because he is so good running the football, and his rushing numbers as good, if not better, than his passing numbers this year. So it's the defense is hopefully going to have their legs back. I mean, they had to be gassed after the 4 overtime game the other night, but they're going to be put on quite a test on Saturday.
Yeah, you really got to pay attention to him in the running game. I mean, it's like essentially an unaccounted for player, but you just got to have someone with their eyes on him at all times. And I think ECU is, even look at the numbers. They're doing great against defending the run, but they're also really susceptible to that, just dropping that deep ball in or just finding some room there. So I think there's a lot to pay attention to. It's almost like Navy in a way where you have to be really smart and very disciplined in where you're going and what you're looking at. And that'll be key. You really just have to be smart against this team.
How about injury-wise for East Carolina? Mike Houston doesn't talk about it. East Carolina doesn't give you any information on that, but we were talking earlier, Holton Ehlers is walking off the field with his arm dangling down, and Keaton Mitchell, not 100%. Jeremy Lewis helped off the field on Saturday. A lot of guys banged up for this team. Miles Berry, more injured than we talk about probably right now. So everybody's dealing with it, but it's certainly going through East Carolina right now.
Yeah, we're definitely starting to see the depth show itself. Jalen Johnson hasn't played in a while.
Yeah.
And that just causes different guys to play either out of position or getting some new guys. Like, Josiah Hatfield's seen a lot of run lately.
I will say a receiver, though, we have not seen a lot of depth. It's the same guys.
Yeah, it's just moving them.
It's Winstead, CJ. We're starting to see more Josiah Hatfield, but as far as beyond that, we haven't seen many receivers at all.
Yeah, and I thought we were going to see Brock Spalding last week just with the way they were talking about him, and, he didn't play much or at all. And
classic red herring by Donnie Kirkpatrick. The whole Memphis team was focused on Brock Spalding.
That's right.
And he didn't play.
That was the key right there.
Yep.
Key piece of information to leak out.
But at other spots, you're right. Depth has shown up, and I think I saw Igoe on the participation chart say that that was the first game the other night where all 5 linemen played every snap on the offensive line. So interesting there. But
I was going to say, in a pre-Washington playing cornerback a ton, and that was his most snaps. Yeah, you're just kind of seeing it everywhere. And I think it's just, what are we, week 7 now, going into week 8? Without a bye, it's just 2 months of straight football crashing into each other. So
no, that's a good point.
Difficult.
And then a short week going into next Friday, and you finally get that off week where East Carolina can hopefully heal up and get ready for the final stretch of the regular season. Ahlers to CJ one-on-one here. Speaking of one-on-one, Isaiah Winstead said UCF likes to go one-on-one, which he likes as well. So we'll see if they can win those matchups this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of another thing where it's like, you versus me kind of situation, and I think all the ECU receivers, kind of relish that opportunity. Look at, just like we drew it up, right? But CJ Johnson's been able to win a lot of those battles. And I think what's interesting, I guess for the past couple of weeks, teams are just not blitzing Holton Ahlers, like just not very often at all. They're just content dropping 7-8. And I wonder if that's going to be a trend moving forward.
I talked to Mark Daniels yesterday, the play-by-play voice of UCF. Says they don't blitz a lot. Mm-hmm. They play pretty basic and will have their D-line get after the quarterback, and if not, they'll have enough in coverage to stop you. So sounds like that we might see that again another week.
Yeah, and it's really on Holton then just to really know where the ball is supposed to go with all those guys in coverage. A lot of times with a blitz, obviously you're sped up, but maybe if you see a blitz comes from this side, you can guess or kind of figure out, hey, maybe I can throw it that way. Because I think Tulane maybe didn't blitz at all. Memphis, obviously didn't blitz much either. So definitely interesting thing to watch. And like you said, if UCF doesn't do that either, it'll be 3 straight weeks of just a lot of coverage.
All right, Patrick Mason joining us. You can give him a follow on Twitter. You can read his work, pages of the Daily Reflector, onlinereflector.com. Are the Bulls going to be any good this year?
They'll be all right. I think Zach LaVine's on the injury report, which is not what you want going into the season. They'll be middle of the road.
They open up tonight in Miami against the Heat. All right, Patrick, thanks for hanging out. We'll give you a phone call Saturday on the Bud Light pregame tailgate.
Sounds good.
All right, Phillies hitting in the top of the first, and if Castellanos is up, that means they've gotten through the order a little bit. We'll see if they've got any runs on the board. It's going to be first and second for the Phillies after a jam shot. As they're showing Bryce Harper, I think he wanted to be at third after that blooper, but he's not. It is 2 on, nobody out. So they had... Oh, okay, it's the second inning. That's what was confusing me. I was thinking they were still in the first. Top of the second, nobody out as Alec Boehm up to the plate for the Phillies. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and talk to Stephen Igoe from Hoist the Colors. Patrick heading out to practice because, it's coordinator day. We'll hear from Donnie Kirkpatrick and Blake Harrell later on today. Have that for you on our Pirate Radio social media accounts. More to go. Hour 3, Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
So how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
So how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Hey Pirate Nation, Shimmer Boutique is your one-stop shop for all your tailgate essentials. This is Holt Nailers, and if you need a Yeti cooler, apparel, shoes, or accessories for the season, Shimmer has you covered. Shimmer Boutique is also the exclusive retailer in Greenville carrying the largest selection of built and broken gear for adults and youth. Be ready for game day and every day at Shimmer Boutique on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks and in Winterville across from Lowe's. Go Pirates!
Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenville Auto World for all your vehicle needs. Greenville Auto World believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Visit greenvilleautoworld.net to see their fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Need a lift kit, custom rims, or wheels? Greenville Auto World can upgrade your vehicle today. For sales or service, visit Greenville Auto World on Highway 43 in Greenville.
This is Holt Nailers. I've been eating at Parker's Barbecue since I was a kid. Now, all these years later, I still love to eat at Parker's. In fact, I love it so much, I bring my entire offensive line with me. They protect me, and I look out for them with great food from Parker's Barbecue. So whether you bring the team like me or just your friends and family, the awesome barbecue, chicken, and seafood at Parker's is a win every time. Parker's Barbecue, where they always treat you like family.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. John Madden's legacy lives on. I'll have some thoughts next. Just like Pepsi, Aaron German from Kinston, born in Eastern Carolina.
Football season is upon us, and those of us that live in Eastern North Carolina know what a special time of year it is. This is Landon Minges with Minges Bottling Group. I'm the fourth generation of my family to have the honor of distributing Pepsi-Cola products to my neighbors in Eastern North Carolina. For over 75 years, my family has taken pride in this great responsibility, and we are proud to have remained locally owned and operated for over 7 decades. When you purchase a Pepsi in Eastern North Carolina, you are supporting your community and keeping those dollars right here in your own backyard. Support local, drink Pepsi. Go Pirates.
The Madden family made a substantial gift to Cal Poly for a new $30 million football building, a 2-story, 30,000 square foot facility honoring the legacy of the former coach and television broadcaster. Madden played football and baseball at Cal Poly. He passed away almost a year ago at the age of 85. The front entrance of the building will honor 16 players and a team manager who died in a plane crash in Toledo, Ohio, October 29, 1960. Many of Madden's friends were on that flight. Virginia Madden, along with her sons Mike and Joe, publicly announced the project at halftime of a recent Cal Poly game, paying it forward from the Madden family. Quite a gesture. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Jamie Lang with Carolina Hardscapes, and we're excited to announce that we're Eastern North Carolina's premier fiberglass pool installation company. We partnered with industry-leading San Juan Pools so that we can build the backyard of your dreams. Whether it's an outdoor fireplace, patio, outdoor kitchen, or now a pool, give us a call at 364-1201 or find us on the web at CarolinaHardscapesandMulch.com so we can make your backyard the place to be. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Live well, move more, and hurt less with Kinetic Physical Therapy. If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic has nationally certified therapists for physical, occupational, speech, and massage therapy, all in a state-of-the-art facility on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. Visit kineticptgreenville.com for more information. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. On a Wednesday, Phillies have got a run on the board. They lead it 1-0 over the Padres. Runners on second and third, 1 out.
How do you feel about Reese Hoskins? Are you cool with the bat slam?
Oh, yeah, I'm cool with anything.
All right.
I really am.
You're cool with anything?
Yes.
All right.
I don't want our guy to. Oh, my goodness
no.
gracious.
Mr.
Juan Soto could not find the ball. Lost it in that beautiful San Diego sun.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I mean, the sun would be about going down now.
Yeah.
So it is 2-0. The runner, as he points to the sun, we know, dude. We know.
Maybe he just threw the game and said
it was a pretty
got money on the fields.
I mean, that's a routine ball. It is right at the edge of the track, but he could not find it with his cool sunglasses. He almost caught it anyway, accidentally. Dude slams his bat down. That's fine. And I don't want our guy to throw a ball at his head next time he comes up. I want the guy to strike him out. You know, I mean, that's how I feel about all that crap. I don't care. Even the rocking the baby thing. He's the guy.
Was stupid though.
He looks like a moron.
Yeah.
I don't want to hit him either. I want to strike him out, and then our entire team start doing this rock the baby thing.
Which is basically what happened.
Yeah. I think it happened the way it should have happened.
Yeah.
If you go around the bases rocking the baby, it's probably not going to end up well for you. And he did it while they were losing too. He looks like the
weird.
idiot.
Yeah, it was a strange decision.
Anyway, Igoe, did you watch the Mariners during the ECU game?
I had it up the entire time, and so I started watching it at 4:07 Eastern time, and I quit watching it around 10:30 p.m. Eastern, maybe a little bit before then, because I think it went 6 hours plus something. Either way, it was well into the fourth quarter by the time the game finally ended, which is just insane because I had not even left my house yet to get to the game, which I usually get there about 2 hours early. And it was just, by the end of it, I was just numb. First of all, I was locked in on the ECU game. Like, I had it up, but I had it up on another window, and I had the stats up, so I would check in on it. And by the end, I was just ready for it to be over. Like, I wasn't even mad when the Astros hit the home run. I was just like, somebody please score so I can quit paying attention to this game. And I knew at that point the Mariners weren't going to win the series. They had already used every pitcher except for their next game starter. And so they would have had very little shot to win the following day. But I'm just glad they got to experience a home playoff game. Just would have been nice if they could have scored.
I like doing stuff like this. I want to see who scored the last run for the Mariners in a home playoff game. I'm going to have to go back to game 2.
I'm say John Olerud.
October. Could have been Stan Javier, who hit a home run for the Mariners all those years ago.
The Padres outfield not interested in catching fly balls in this game, apparently.
3-0 Phillies now in the lead. Game 2 in Seattle. Mariners lost that one 3-2 back in 2001. And I got to find the play-by-play here, Igoe. You go ahead and talk for a minute.
Big game for East Carolina this week.
Big ball game.
Big ball game. It is a big ball game. You know, the Tulane game was a big ball game, and that was unfortunately a fall flat on your face game for East Carolina. And then I feel like Memphis was a big game. I would not go big ball game territory. Now that you've won that game, it sets up a big ball game against the UCF Knights, and this would be the best win of the Mike Houston era if they could pull it off.
Igoe, that trivia answer is Stan Javier. He had a 2-run home run scoring Mike Cameron. That is the last player to score a run in a Mariners home game. So there you go. Have that trivia ready for next year when they get back to the playoffs.
Let's hope so.
3-0 our score. Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Da Buck. Kyle Schwarber batting for the Phillies in the first inning. All right, let's...
second inning.
Sorry, second inning. What time you got to leave?
5:30.
You want to go hoops or football first?
Go hoops.
Caleb LeCount. I'm a Caleb LeCount guy.
You're a LeCount guy?
I'm a LeClown head. What'd you get from your conversation with him?
He is just awesome, man. He's a bundle of energy.
Sorry. Just crazy numbers to look at.
Just get out of my Are we talking ECU basketball or are we talking Mariners baseball.
They've played 45 seasons. They've been to the playoffs 5 times. It's a crazy stat.
It is a crazy stat. And
moving on.
The banner section is sad in Safeco Field.
Very bare.
I can guarantee that. And they will definitely hang a banner for this playoff appearance.
Sure.
Either way.
Yeah. AL wild card.
It's about as barren as ECU's NCAA tournament banner.
Nice segue.
So, Caleb LeCount, will he be the next man to take the Pirates to the dance? Just a bundle of energy, man. And I love that he embraces the fact that he is like a 5'6" point guard that is going to look out of place on a Division I basketball court. But he honestly is just like, whatever, man. Like, look, nobody recruited me because I'm small. I did ask him, hey, man, like you scored like 35 a game in high school. Like, how was that transition to college practice thus far? He basically said at first like it was a little tough, but now he's like it's easy. He said it's coming easy. So I'm just I just love his energy. It's not that he's like overconfident or cocky. He just like he believes in his abilities. He knows that he has to do some stuff differently because of how he is. You know, it was an interesting dynamic because they had the players grouped at a table, and on one side of the table you had Jaden Walker, the Iowa State transfer, who's 6'5", and he plays point guard. The other side, you had Caleb LeCount, he's listed at 5'8". He's probably more like 5'6", 5'7". And I asked him, I was like, what's it like when you have Jaden Walker guarding you, and he's like towering over you? And he's like, no. Like, he's 100% towering over me. Like, I have no, like, he's like, I don't even compare to him. So he's like, man, I just got to get under him. I got to get in his face. And he just has to be a pest because that's like the only way he can stop people is just get in the face, try to get him, you know, from getting to the basket. And then offensively, he just has to use his speed. Javon Small asked him who the toughest guy to guard on the team is. He said Caleb LeCount because he's just so fast. He was like in the scrimmage the other day, I couldn't handle him. So the whole point guard situation is going to be interesting because like you have almost, you know, Jaden Walker told me he's playing on the point. He's 6'5". You got Javon Small, who said he's scoring a lot more, and we've heard that from teammates. Saxby Sunderland said Javon's very hard to guard. And then you got Caleb LeCount. So you got 3 point guards who are like all different sizes, different style of players, and I just don't know how that all is going to play out, but it's fascinating.
Yeah, do you think LeCount gets into the rotation? I mean, not all these guys are going to play, and we don't know who is going to play and who's not going to play. And are the returning guys, does Brandon Johnson still have a spot? Does R.J. Felton make a leap? I think Javon Small, for whatever reason, just I guess from what I'm hearing, but my own thoughts as well, I think he takes a leap from freshman to sophomore. So where do they fit in?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it, and I don't know if it's coach speak or what, but Riley Davis, one of the assistants, he was asked what individuals have stood out, and maybe he wanted to say it this way, but he said basically all the returners have surprised him. I guess from the standpoint of they didn't play much last year, and guys like Javon Small, guys like maybe Brandon Johnson in that mold, but they've shown that they can contribute. They've bought into the system. Sounds like Javon Small is really got a chance to score the basketball, which we didn't see much last year. We didn't even see him try to score. So, it's tough for us to really know what type of capability he has. And, we know what Brandon Johnson can do a little bit. We know what Luigi DeBow can do. But R.J. Felton said he's really bought into the defensive mentality. It's kind of it's just an unknown right now. I mean, I don't even know if the coaches know at this point how it's all going to look. I'm sure they've got an idea, but until they actually start playing somebody else, until they have the other scrimmages or other games, it's tough to say how this is all going to play out. Because a guy like Caleb LeCount, I would think it would be very matchup driven. I think he's going to be able to score. It's just, is he going to hurt you too much defensively at his size in certain games if somebody has a really big point guard that can just score?
We've seen some big physical point guards in the American.
Yeah. And so, how does that dynamic shake out? I think his situation is going to be very matchup driven, unless he's just so much of a pest defensively that no matter what size the other team's guard is, smallest guard, he can find a way to make it work.
He's a full foot shorter than our point guard from a year ago, Tristan Newton.
Yeah, I mean, he really is. So it's but if he can score, if he can shoot, you got to have somebody who can score.
Yeah.
And if he can generate steals, that's going to generate points. And So, I mean, the thing I do like about the roster is there are options. It's not like they're all the same player. They've got different players in the post. They got guys who are more leapers. They got guys who are more physical. So, like, they've got options, and certainly the best of the best will play. And Mike Schwartz said 8 to 10 man rotation today. So it's 3, 4, 5 guys are gonna be left out, and it'll be interesting to see who those guys are. And do they redshirt somebody?
I like asking the question, who's your favorite newcomer? What newcomer are you looking forward to seeing? And I asked our basketball guy, Johnny Gardner, at halftime of the ECU game the other night out at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. He said he's keeping an eye, Igoe, on Biela, Ben Biela, as his favorite newcomer. Do you have an answer to that one as we sit here a few weeks away?
I think Biela's probably up there for me. I'm actually doing a story on Quentin Debunje and Biela, and so I'll go both of them as a package deal, both of them coming over from France. They were both very good interviews considering the fact that, French is obviously their first language, and they've just learned English in the past few years, at least fluently, and they spoke it well. And to do, I can't even imagine trying to do, an interview and share my legitimate thoughts in, Spanish or something like that, or in a different language. So, I give those guys a ton of credit. But it's just always interesting talking to those guys. They have a dream about playing basketball growing up. So, they grew up watching the NBA. They grew up watching American basketball. But then to, leave your home country and just show up in the United States, a foreign country, to try and live out your dream, it's kind of crazy what they had to go through. So I think both of them athletically, talent-wise, are as talented as anybody on the team. Having Luigi DeBeau, both of them said Luigi has helped a ton because he also speaks French and he's from that part of the world. And so that's helped. And I think it's a situation where those two guys, if they can figure it out and kind of get comfortable and let their athleticism and talent take over, I think they can really help because they can both shoot it. They're both tall enough to play the 3. They can play the 4 in some lineups. They can play the 2. Versatile, defensive-oriented due to their length and athleticism. So I like both those guys, and I'm looking forward to see how they gel.
All right, some good basketball talk with Stephen Igoe here on a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. The Phillies have opened up now a 4. Soda, has he got this one, Stephen?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got it. He fought the sun, and he won that battle. But it is 4-0 Phillies as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Blake Snell, more like Blake Shelled. Am I right, Chandler? Boy, Chandler did not like that one. All right, I wanted to look at, he's leaving. He is leaving the studio. Man. I wanted to look at our top 10 most important players going into the ECU season and who we said and what we think right now. So my top pick was Keaton Mitchell. I feel very good about that pick, especially coming off last week, that he was the most important Pirate this year. Your top pick was Holton Ahlers. Hard to argue, the quarterback.
Yeah, I think both those nail on the head.
I went number 2, Holton Ahlers. You went Noah Henderson. How's Noah played this year?
He's played well. I think you always need quality tackle play. I don't think he's been quite as good as last year. And he's been asked to play a lot of snaps just as far as his there have been certain games where I don't think he's been quite 100% and has had to battle through it. The Bailey Malavik situation has killed them. He basically just is not a part of the team right now, didn't play a snap this year. So there was one projected tackle, and then that's forced Parker Moore to help out at both tackle spots. So hasn't been ideal, but he's done everything that's been asked of him, and he's certainly trying his best.
Chandler's back. Chandler, who are your top 2 on the list?
My top 2, number 1, Holton Ahlers.
All right.
Number 2, Keaton Mitchell.
All right. Good.
All right.
Number 3, I think we knocked it out of the park. I'm giving myself a little more credit. Stephen Igoe certainly did with his pick. Isaiah Winstead, love the guy, and he has been huge this year. Jeff Charles said earlier today he has maybe been even better than we thought he could be here. He's been awesome.
He has. He really has. That's the thing. We talk so much about transfers and how many of them actually pan out. So, pick transfers on your top 10 list is a risk.
That was pretty bold of you, Steven, I got to say.
I just felt like he was going to play a big role one way or the other, and he has certainly played a big role, and he's been more than I expected, honestly.
Yeah.
Which is, he had a lot of expectations, so that kind of says a lot about what he's done.
I had Malik Fleming, and I feel good about that pick, especially coming off his pick in the last game, but also what he's been able to do in special teams. So he has been an important part of this football team thus far. Who was your number 3?
My number 3 is a guy who has been very productive this year, Ryan Jones.
I had Ryan Jones at 4. I feel good about that, especially when he went on his tear of, 4 straight games with a touchdown. And I think he'll find the end zone again, too. Also, another soul-crushing block the other night that led to a good run by Keaton Mitchell. Igoe, your number 4 was Keaton Mitchell. So I'll take that. I put Avery Jones at number 5. Igoe, you brought it up preseason. First time Ehlers has had a center in back-to-back years, so that's an important spot there. You had Ryan Jones. Who's your number 5, Chandler?
My number 4 is Isaiah Winstead, and my number 5 was Rajay Harris.
And Rajay goes down and, unfortunately, will not be playing the remainder of the year. Avery Jones, Ryan Jones, Rajay, Igoe.
You want me to comment on all 3 or
real quick?
Yeah, Avery Jones, I had him at number 6. I don't know if we're still going down the list.
We are.
Either way, I thought there's a home run by the Padres. But I thought Avery Jones playing center, much like the tackles. I've got 3 offensive linemen on my list, and all 3 have played and started every game. And I think that's been critical to the team's success. Ryan Jones, he's had a solid season. I feel like we still haven't seen that huge game that I feel like he's capable of. And
8 for 100.
Yeah, like something like that. Maybe that'll happen at some point. And the other one was
Rajay.
Rajay, yeah, it's just a tough situation. I didn't have him on my top 10, but he was probably number 11 and easily could have been up there.
Scored a lot of touchdowns in his few games this year.
And they miss him.
Next on the list, Jeremy Lewis. And I'll say that I was expecting more from a sack standpoint. Now he has back-to-back games with a sack. He told us Monday his goal was to get 1 a game. Maybe he's back on that track. Maybe it picks up. And, oh, my God, is it back-to-back, Jack? Josh Bell hits one a mile high, and it is gone.
Wow.
And it is 4-2. And Josh Bell unloaded on that one. Majestic shot. All right, Jeremy, maybe getting in the swing of things here, Igoe.
Yeah, and he's been better against the run this year than he was last year. So I think almost he's turned into a more complete player. He just hasn't had the pressure, but I think he's been close. There was one play this past weekend too where he got held. I think it was the first series of the game for Memphis, right in front of the quarterback, no call, and that was the play they hit the little tight end. Nobody covered him. So he's been generating pressure all year. The sacks haven't necessarily been there consistently, but I do think he's played really good. And he's played the majority of the snaps at that position. So he's definitely a worthy candidate, and why he was number 8 on my list as well.
Jeremy, number 8 on your list. Avery Jones was number 6. How about you, Chandler?
Number 6 for me was Malik Fleming.
All right, my number 7, and this is a great pick by me because it showed the importance of a kicker. Owen Daffer, my 7th most important player.
I mean,
and East Carolina could have a much different record if he kicked better this year.
At least 4-2, probably 5-1, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if he replicated last year's success, and again, not all on Owen. I think the whole operation has been an issue, but certainly that has bared out to be true.
All right, Igoe, at this point, I don't know if this guy's worthy of being 7th, but from what we saw Saturday, maybe we start to see more of him. Pre-Washington, the corner.
Yeah, he had an injury in preseason camp, and he's kind of dealt with that the whole year, but he came in as a very experienced guy. And I basically said whoever played across from Malik Fleming, whether it was a Juwan Powell, DeMel Hickman, we've seen all those guys now. And I still don't think anybody has really stepped up and proven to be the full-time corner. Now, Juwan Powell has certainly gotten the most snaps, but he's proven to be a really good run defender from the boundary at corner. They're still looking for a guy who can consistently cover against the pass. I think Apri might, potentially have an answer there. He did miss a tackle and he gave up a touchdown in the game, but I mean, it's not like you play 65 snaps at corner, you can pick out 2 or 3 plays. It doesn't mean you had a bad game. But I thought he showed well for his first significant time for the most part.
All right, Chandler, who was your number 7?
Number 7 for me was C.J. Johnson.
and he has been better than I expected him to be.
I don't even think we knew if he would. Did we do these picks at the end of camp or beginning or when?
Middle of camp, I believe.
Great call, Chandler.
Yeah, because I mean at that point we didn't know for sure how much he would play.
Number 8, the worst pick out of anybody. I said Rick DeBrew.
So did I.
Where is Rick DeBrew?
Literally number 8 on my list and number 8 on yours, and he started the season basically on the scout team.
Yeah.
He started the season on the scout team due to discipline issues, and he's been working his way out of the doghouse all season. And to his credit, he has consistently gotten more snaps the last few weeks.
I've seen him on the field.
Could the rocked up guy be back?
It's just, I mean, the talent is there for him to be a top 10 player. It's just bringing it all together and coming out and doing his thing. And
I wanted to pick one defensive lineman. I didn't know which one to pick.
Well, that's exactly why Jeremy was the only guy on my top 10, because I was like, Rick would probably be the guy I would pick. I knew there was some issues going on heading into camp, and so I feel like he had to turn it around, and I think he has, and he can still become that guy. But the whole D-line is good, and therefore if you're not performing well, you're going to get replaced.
I had Noah Henderson 9. We've talked about him. You had Xavier Smith. How about Xavier's season so far, Steven?
I think he's been solid. He's been really good against the run. I think the whole pass defense from linebackers to safeties to corners at times has lacked. As far as pass coverage, he's kind of dealt with a knee injury the past 2 years. So, I don't want to say it's affected his pass coverage a little bit, but I think he's had to deal with that, and that's hamstrung him a little bit. But overall, you look at his metrics and his numbers and his tackling numbers. He's tackled really well. He's been really stout against the run, and I think he's had a very solid season overall. He's been certainly better, than he was last year when he was asked to play multiple positions. So he's been solid. This is a cool brother-on-brother matchup.
Very strange. History being made. First brother versus brother matchup, pitcher versus hitter. The NOLA boys going at it. Reminds me of Will Smith facing Will Smith in the NLCS last year. Igoe's got to go. We'll wrap it up. Who you got number 9?
Number 9 is a guy that I thought would start, but Justin Red's been getting the most consistent snaps there at left tackle. Parker Moore was my number 9.
And you had Red as your number 10, Igoe.
Yeah, and Parker Moore's played still a significant amount this year, and so he's definitely worthy of a pick.
And don't feel bad, Clip. For my number 10, I had Owen Daffer.
Yeah, we had some misses. We had some hits on our most important players list. If we had to redo this, names we would see up there, certainly Julius Wood, certainly Juwan Powell would probably make a list, Igoe. Who else that we didn't mention?
I mean, we could have, I think Miles
Berry, maybe a D lineman, Elijah Morris, Mims.
Mims has been showing up.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had a lot of guys. There's just so many guys who play defensively, it's almost tough to include them on the list.
All right, Axel says, when will we see more of Jack Powers? I'm going to guess Saturday night. That's when we usually see him during ECU.
Yeah, Jack Powers, he's playing about 15, 20 snaps a game.
He made a play the other night.
He had a sack.
Because we were celebrating in the stands there, Chandler. Powers. Jack Powers.
Jack Powers.
Jack Powers.
All right, let's get to the picks, Igoe. You were 3-2 last week, 16-18 overall. I am 15-19 against the spread on the year. That is not good. Need a big week this week. We'll start with UCF as a 5-point favorite against ECU.
I was going to pick ECU, and then I turned on some UCF game tape on Monday, and I'm going Knights. I think Knights win by a touchdown.
I, too, am taking UCF minus the 5. Cincinnati, a 3-point road favorite at SMU.
Give me the Natty all day.
I will. Almost looks like they're wanting you to take Cincinnati, but I will take them. Tulane, minus 7 against Memphis at home. Tulane at home.
Tigers.
I'm on the Tigers. Chandler is on the Tigers. Clemson.
I feel like Memphis is either going to win that game outright or get absolutely flattened.
I keep picking against Tulane, too, and it's burning me. Clemson minus 13.5 against undefeated Syracuse.
In Clemson?
Yeah.
Clemson.
I don't want to pick everything you got. Are you taking Oregon or UCLA?
Where's that game at?
At Oregon. Oregon -6.
Oregon.
Me too.
I mean, are we really believing in UCLA?
No, I'm taking
Go
Oregon.
Syracuse,
I'll take Cuse.
All right, cool.
I'll take Cuse. They've played them tight there
Yeah,
before
I mean, they
a couple
can
times.
certainly stay within 13.
Brandon says how we talked about the C.J. Johnson catch on the last scoring drive in the fourth quarter. We talked about it on the post game. There were people out there who say, "What are you looking at? That was a clear catch." I thought it was a clear incomplete pass. The ball bounced.
I haven't even looked at the replay yet, so I don't know.
All right, well there you go.
Catch.
It looked
The one that they didn't look at.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We were sitting in here. We were like,
It looked
oh,
incomplete
man.
to me, right?
No, we all were like, all right, well, that's coming back. And then they didn't even look at it.
Yeah.
We got a playoff, so.
Catch.
All right, Steven, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll check you out on hoistthecolors.net. Shirley Rhodes, let's open up the booty bag.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
All right, what are we giving away on this fine Wednesday?
Oh, let's see. Decisions. How about $15 gift card to AJ McMurphy's?
Oh, man, sounds like a winner. Looking forward to enjoying some AJ's food tonight. Might go with the classic chicken cheesesteak. Might go with some wings. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I know I'm hungry, but I don't know what I'm feeling right now.
Buffalo chicken wrap.
Buffalo chicken wrap.
The buffalo chicken wrap is to die for.
That might be the move.
To die for, Steve and I go.
What call are you looking for?
10.
Caller 10, 317-1250. We're back with more on Pirate Radio Live after this.
That sound? That's Flowers putting up a fight. Hundreds of them at the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's, carried by people committed to the cause. It doesn't matter what obstacles are in their way. Just like Flowers, participants keep going, raising funds and awareness for a breakthrough in the fight against Alzheimer's and all other dementia. Now it's time to add your flower. Join us Saturday, October 22nd at Union Point Park in New Bern by going to alz.org/walk.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
Beauty Bar Medispa wants to know if you are ready to fall into beauty. October 7th through the 14th. All services and products will be on sale. Botox, filler, painless laser hair removal, facials, RF microneedling, rejuvenating laser treatments to treat brown spots, wrinkles, texture, veins, and skin tightening. And now, the only facility in the area to offer non-surgical under-eye fat pad treatments. BeautyBarMedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Go Pirates!
This is Dr. McGraw from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for the athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services as well as walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For experienced and professional care, call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulf of Mexico. A huge 38-ounce lime margarita for only $8.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar with daily specials. And here's the lineup. Mondays feature $7 margaritas and half-price appetizers. Tuesday is stuffed seafood night. Wednesday is date night. Thursday is roasted smoked lamb chop night. Fridays is prime rib night. And Saturday is Italian night and is also Fred and Wilma night with our 36-ounce bone-in tomahawk steak just like the Flintstones. And on Sunday, it's our legendary brunch from 10 to 2. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
Pirate Radio.
It's going to change. I promise you. As I stand here, it will change. Okay, and when it does, that stadium, it's going to be rocking, and heaven help whoever walks in there to play us.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. To get the business services that are right for your business today, contact the team of experienced local bankers at First Bank. The team includes bankers you can trust like Ashley Capps, Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nesbitt. First Bank, together with their customers, they're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. And congratulations to Phil Edwards of Washington. Picked up a $15 gift card courtesy of AJ McMurphy's. The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ's. They have daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio perfect for some outdoor dining. There's something for everyone every weeknight, including sports trivia with our very own Clip Rock. And they have live music every Friday and Saturday with no cover and brunch every Sunday. Make today an AJ's day. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All righty. Earlier today, I had a conversation with Blake Prohl, former East Carolina wide receiver, now with the Vikings, and we will run that interview on Thursday's show, and Blake is waiting to see whether he clears waivers and will be added back to the Vikings practice squad. So he was very excited when we talked to him earlier today, either going to be picked up by another team or added back to the Vikings practice squad. But he is healthy and happy and singing and doing it all. And we'll air that interview coming up on Thursday's edition of Pirate Radio Live. Shirley, we'll talk a lot of football on Thursday. Talked some hoops with Igoe a moment ago. Let's hear from Mike Schwartz earlier today as he met with the media for ECU Basketball Media Day, his first as the head coach of the Pirates.
Thank you guys for being here. This is awesome. Appreciate you guys all being here. And I'll just say this, just real briefly, really excited right now about this season. We had our 16th practice yesterday. We play 20 days from today. We have our opener versus Mercer. So I think we still got 20 days left to continue to improve and keep building on what we're trying to do. But outside of that, we're excited for the season and excited for today. So if anyone has any questions, I'd love to, anything you guys want.
Coach, I know you said the conference media day, one of the things you are really kind of measuring on early is, defensive success or executing that. How do you feel like that plan has gone? Like, is your defensive philosophy being instilled pretty good?
Yeah, Stephen, it is, and we feel good about it. We're 16 practices in. We've had a 40-minute scrimmage. We'll have a few more of those where we have a chance to, compete against each other. But it's difficult because of depth. Obviously, you don't have the depth. Anytime you do an inter-squad scrimmage, we're really going to know in 20 days when we can line up and have 16 guys on one side, and we can use that depth. But with that being said, when we are able in those scrimmages to play the up-tempo defense that we want to, pressure the ball the way we want to, play in the full court the way we want to, yeah, I think we feel pretty good about where it's going. The guys, most importantly, Stephen, the buy-in. The guys have really bought into this defensive system, and but we got a long way to go to get where we want to be. But yes, I feel like the buy-in's been good, and we're happy with where we're at.
Coach, is that one of the byproducts of when you take over a new program and you get such a young team, but if you can get them on the same page defensively, that can turn into offense and you don't need, the great scorers yet, that kind of thing. And it's all about recruiting players down the line, but this first year, you got to play great D, right?
Yeah, and I think, Brian, we want to have the great scorers and great players from day one. We'd love to have it. But you know what? Whether it's year 1, year 2, 3, 4, and beyond, whenever it is, I think defense is always going to be at the foundation, at least for our program. That's what we want it to be. So, and you said something that's key, and Brian, I do believe this. I do believe strong defense can lead to offense. I don't necessarily think always great offense or great scoring leads to strong defense. It can happen, and there's different things that allow that to happen, but I directly feel that strong defense, creating turnovers, disrupting another team's offense, can lead directly to points for your team. So I've always had that philosophy. We had that philosophy at Tennessee, and we'll try and implement that here. But yeah, to go with your point, I think at all times defense has to be at the core of what we're doing.
Hey, Coach, when you have a couple players coming from some bigger programs, say like Quentin from Tennessee and Jaden from Iowa State, who maybe weren't asked to shoulder a lot of the scoring, does that, when they come on a team like this, who's I think returning fewer than 15 points, does that kind of allow them to take that next step when something they might not be asked to do in the past, they can do so here?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think it's really twofold to that. I think number one, they're excited about that opportunity. We as a coaching staff obviously see something that we feel they can do more than maybe they did production-wise wherever they were before, Iowa State and Tennessee and the two that you spoke about. But that being said, also, this is the first time that they've been asked to shoulder that kind of load. This is the first time they've had that responsibility on them. And I talk to them a lot about that as much as you have a new responsibility and you feel like you like, what you're being asked to do, you've never been asked to do this, at least not for a while. Maybe Quentin back at prep school and back in France, and Jaden maybe back when he was in high school in Atlanta. But his first 2 years at Iowa State, he wasn't asked to be very productive on the offensive side. He had moments that were better than others. Quentin didn't ever have that opportunity at Tennessee really to put it in the books. So even though they're transfers and they have a little bit of experience, they're being asked, like you said, to kind of shoulder a new role, which really makes them inexperienced in that role. So they're going to go through the ebb and flow and the ups and downs of that too. But from an excitement standpoint, I think there's no doubt that's one of the reasons they were excited to be here.
Mike, you're in a business that ultimately is measured by wins and losses, as you know. Spend your time motivating the guys, try to be successful on the court, off the court. Just curious, what motivates you to try and be successful, to have this team turn the corner and have success on the court? How do you motivate yourself? Well, I would probably just, top of my head, 3 things popped to mind as you were asking that question. And number one is just competitive spirit. I think this is, I can't say in coaching in general, I would imagine most coaches have a very high competitive spirit. And I believe that that's something that's always driven me, and whether it was a player, whether it's in coaching as a young coach, and also whether it's just in life. That's just what it is. That's just part of my DNA. I think number 2 is really the joy and what you want to get out of seeing our players, our student athletes be successful. I've had a chance to be in it 24 years. This is my 24th season as a coach. I had a chance to be in college and play in high school. So the winning, the competing, the success that you get when you win as a team, whether it just be good seasons, individual games, championship seasons, it's a special, memorable thing. And it's something that we really want to share with our guys here as our student athletes. We want them to experience that. And then the last piece is we're here at ECU. I want this community. When you talk about motivation, there's nothing I would want more than to see the ECU, Greenville, the community of ECU, the alumni, everybody that's a Pirate or Pirate Nation experience what it is to win and win big and have that feeling. So I think there's a lot of answers to that question, but just competitive spirit, sharing that winning feeling or trying to build that winning feeling for our student athletes, and then as important as any, this university and this community.
Coach, I think we ask about Winston Sabbs every time we see you, so might as well keep it going. Any update on his? I know you said he might be cleared for contact. Is that happening yet?
Yeah, you're right on cue with that. He actually had his first contact practice yesterday, and that does not mean that he will be cleared to play in inter-squad scrimmages or cleared to play when we play Mercer, on the 8th. But he has been cleared for the first time in this process, which was a great accomplishment for him. So much credit to our training staff and strength and conditioning staff. I mean, I think Nate, our trainer, is as good as there is in the country, and he has worked so diligently with Winston, and Winston's done incredible in his commitment to trying to get back to the court. And we talked about this at AAC Media Day. There's a mental component and a physical component. But to see him back on the court a couple days, it was actually 2 days ago, to see him back on the court in 5-on-5 play, and as excited as he was, as Nate was, the coaching staff was, what was really neat was to see his teammates, how when we put him on and he got on the court the first time, basically practice stopped, and they went over and hugged him and really kind of just patted him on the shoulder and said, just happy to have him back. But he's getting there. He has not been cleared for game participation yet, but he did practice for the first time, and we were excited about it.
Coach, last time we got to talk to you, you were still in like strength and conditioning mode. And now, 3 weeks to the season, obviously, you've got to have a bunch of stuff in place to be playing games. So what do you do in the next 3 weeks to be ready for that tip?
Just continue. And, you know, we're going to stay in strength and conditioning mode. I think some of our guys have started to get some extra lifting in during the week on their own. I think that's something that with a young team, with the team that is, forget just the experience part, we're young. We know we have a lot of freshmen, so I think they need that. And so they've done that. So we're going to stay in that strength and conditioning mode for the next 3 weeks. The actual volume of it may decrease a little bit in terms of the length of practice or how much we do, because you're starting to add, preparation to that now. So now practices can't, you know, you have to implement the time of preparation as you're getting ready for your games in the season. But with that being said, the main thing is we're just going to continue to try and fine-tune some of those details that we have been putting in since the summer. And there's things that we worked on the very beginning of June that we're still working on right now. And we're not going to stop working on them in November, December, January, February. We'll stay on it. But you hope that the execution piece, fine-tuning those things, how they apply to your next opponent, that's where your focus starts to turn to as you get closer to the season.
All right, there is some of Mike Schwartz from earlier today, ECU Basketball Media Day, and I'm ready. I'm excited to go to games. I am not expecting much at all. I don't even know what I'm expecting. We haven't seen these guys on the court, so I'm keeping my expectations very low, so maybe they could be surpassed.
And, you know, we, as you could tell through the Media Day audio that we just ran, and Pirates were picked last in the AAC this year, both in women's and men's basketball. And a lot of things that Mike Schwartz talks about is, you know, we're still in that, you know, we're in that situation of trying to mesh with each other and play with each other and try to get to know each other and click on all cylinders. What if this is a smokescreen? What if the Pirates?
See, this is what I'm not going to do. You can
what if
do
the
it.
Pirates
I'm not going to do this mess.
are actually
No.
not like that?
No.
And the Pirates come out just firing from all cylinders.
Nah.
That was just a small thought that I had today, listening to the audio earlier. But
if you want to do that to yourself, go ahead. I'm not going to do that to myself.
You know what? And I go in every year, even with Dooley. I did this with Lebo as a little kid. Did it with Mac.
A little kid?
When Lebo was here in 2011 and 12?
Yeah.
I was 10 years old. Well, more like 12.
You were like 14 in 2012, right?
In 2010, 2011, I was 12.
All right. Little boy. You're a teeny little boy.
Pirates are going to be good this year. We got Darius Morrow. We got Paris Roberts Campbell. We got Brock Young.
All right. So what do you do every year?
Just high hopes that we'll have some sort of product on the court.
Look, Chandler, I've been able to beat you down. You used to be this like, you were always smiling, always upbeat, always excited, always optimistic. And then you were around me every day for the last few years. And now you are negative, pessimistic.
And I know that. And you know what? I'm trying to get out of that by saying that Mike Schwartz is going to have these guys ready to go this season.
I'm telling you not to think that way.
I know.
To be negative.
I know. I'm going to be negative. Pirates are going to suck. They're going to lose just about every single ball game.
Yeah.
We're going to go into that first game against Mercer, I believe.
It's going to be a dogfight.
Whoever we play. It's going to be a dogfight. Pirates are going to win, but they're going to scratch out a win. It's going to be ugly.
And now
we're going to hate it.
So you're being facetious in saying that. If they scratch out a win against Mercer, are you going to be upset about it?
Yeah.
Are you? Okay, well, your expectations, either mine are way off or yours are way off.
Mine are way off.
You think you can roll out the ball against anybody with these guys we've never seen play and just blow somebody out? I'm going to say your expectations are too high, but they're your expectations. They're not mine. And the expectations are like opinions, which are like buttholes.
Expectations have been low. They have been low. But as we inch closer, as I always do, I'm trying to find a way, a positive.
Why? Who's going to be the?
But I feel like it's better, and this is the facts. It's better to stay with those expectations, those low expectations.
Yes.
And let the season play out for itself. So whenever the Pirates do underperform, which we expect, it's not going to hurt as bad.
It's not underperforming. It's performing as I think they will, which is they're going to struggle. The worst case scenario about me feeling this way is I'm way off, and the Pirates are better than I think they are, and it'll make for a fun season in Minges Coliseum. That's all I'm saying. For you to have high expectations, my question is why? Who's the guy? Who's taking them to the promised land? Give me some names.
Caleb LeCount.
See?
No.
Maybe so.
I mean, maybe some of these new guys. Maybe like a DeBounje or,
Are you going to say it like that?
Is it DeBounje? Do we ever...
DeBounje? Maybe, but you go, DeBounje.
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 I don't know. And that, I mean, these guys, a lot of these guys are new. You got guys like the Felt Belt, R.J. Felton.
But look, I don't need East Carolina to be great for me to enjoy the season. I'm going to enjoy it anyway for what it is.
ECU basketball.
Yeah. That's what I'm used to.
We're going to throw some legal bets out there.
Yeah, we're going to drive up to Virginia, put our bets in, come back, go to the game, have a good time. Do some three-point celebrations. Get rowdy.
Watch-alongs with the new arm sleeve tattoos that we have.
And folks, can you not wait to go to Minges and scream at referees? I mean, it's
come on,
tradition.
it's the best.
Yeah, like it's gonna be.
Mean, can you not wait to go to Minges and be almost courtside?
Can you not wait till that almost that clear charge call is called a block, and everybody just loses it? Nothing brings fans more together than screaming at the same referee. It's a real sense of unity that we don't have a lot in our country anymore.
Are you ready for that Saturday night game where the Pirates come off a pretty good win?
And it's packed.
And it's packed. You're playing like a Temple or you're playing like a Memphis.
And your expectations got a little too high because of the previous game.
Start to tingle a little bit.
Yeah.
Your expectations start to tingle a little bit. And you get in the Minges just rowdy, ready to go.
And they get down 14-3.
And all of a sudden, Mike Schwartz is calling a timeout with, 16-20 left on the first half clock.
Why didn't he wait for the media? These are the kinds of things we'll be talking about up in Section 213. I'm going to be there for the upset this year, and you don't know who it's going to be against.
There's always one of those home upsets. We had it last year.
They're going to knock one of them off this year. So I'm ready for it all, man. The thrill that is, the agony that is ECU basketball.
It's here, folks.
All right,
whether you like it or not.
Take a break. We'll come back and wrap up a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We will be back with you after these words from our sponsors.
Here today with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. Jeff, how's the service department?
Service is going great. Like I told you before, 2022 is the year of the customer. We've been voted #1 dealership in Greenville for 3 years in a row, and there's a reason why. For service, we still offer free pickup and drop-off, so we're trying to make it super convenient for the customer. And right now, our customers are repairing their vehicles more than ever.
How can people make a service appointment?
They can go to brownwood.net or dial 355-6080.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Jamie Cuccinella, inviting you and your family to come by Cuccinella's Pizzeria and Italian Ice. Cuccinella's has been serving our special family recipe New York-style pizza since 1932. We think you'll taste the difference in just one bite. When you come in for a pie, don't forget to try our house-made Italian ice or gelato. We make small batches every day from scratch with all fresh ingredients.
Cuccinella's on Old Tar Road in Winterville and a new location coming soon to Uptown Greenville.
Do you want to feel healthier and have more energy? The secret is all in what you eat. At Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness, we have certified dietitians to provide you with accurate advice on the eating plan and the lifestyle choices that you need to make to help you live well. You need more than just an internet search to be able to get a plan that fits your unique needs. Your dietitian will customize an eating plan that is specific to your goals, your budget, and your lifestyle, while providing coaching along the way so you can live well. Sign up today at kptonline.com.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
This is Xavier Smith, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
All right, that'll do it for today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. Mike Houston with a sick hoodie. He's showing off at his press conference. We will see you Thursday, 3 o'clock. We'll talk to Troy D. will be here, Kevin Monroe, Blake Prohl, former Pirate, current Viking. Also, the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau, and Touchdown Tony Collins. Big football show on tap for Thursday at 3 o'clock, plus comments from the coordinators, Blake Harrell and Donnie Kirkpatrick. We'll talk to you then. For Shirley Rhodes, Chan Man, the crew here at Pirate Radio, I'm Clip Brock. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation